All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am doing well, and I got to say, it's a nervous day for me because, as we like to say in this household, it's getting real now, baby. I got my bib pickup sheet for the Biarritz Marathon. It's real. I'm gonna be running a damn marathon. So here we go.
It's happening.
It's a real thing. We're sending
Look at that
documents now. Yikes.
Yeah. No backing out, man. That's it. Gotta go.
You know
for
what?
it.
It's funny. Last night I went to play pickleball, and I said, "Oh, I'm not going to make it next week because I'm going to France." Oh, what are you doing? You know, the usual stuff. Anyways, and it's like 3 people surround me and said, "You're going to poop yourself. You're going to poop yourself running the marathon. It's what happens." I'm like, "Well, that's encouraging. Thanks. That's
never
great to hear."
heard that one before, but
Yeah, apparently it's.
I was gonna say let us know, but don't let us know.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm like, I didn't need to hear that, but okay, thanks so much. Anyways, let's talk about the markets because we got a lot of earnings that are happening. We had some earnings last night. We had some more this morning. Hey guys, we're going live with earnings report into the close today, so rejoin us on YouTube if you're not here in the room at 3:30, and we'll talk about some big earnings. But meanwhile, the markets are moving, and I love this. In the immortal words of Jared this morning, the ranges be ranging. So
The ranges. I heard him say that a couple of times. Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Friends, quick look at our gappers list this morning. Again, a little bit more balanced style. There's not a whole lot on here. A lot of things are just hanging out next to their previous day close, so they're not really moving up or down. So it's kind of a flat start to the market open. Many takers like we saw, unlike we saw yesterday. Yesterday was a whole different story. Today, things are a little bit more calm. But there still are some good ones that are moving pretty aggressively, like PLTR. It's my favorite one today, this morning so far. We'll dive into that one. That one's been up and down in the green today. But again, all the activity not showing on the scappers list yet because they're just down from under 1% on the upside. So let's get in this calendar, Peter. What's going on for the U.S. economic calendar today?
yeah, so we have a couple of things that just came out. Interesting numbers. So it looks like the rumors were true. We'll get to that in a second. So let's talk jobless claims first. We had both initial and continuing jobless claims pretty much on target. Continuing jobless claims surprisingly lower, so slightly lower, but not by much. 40,000 jobs, which over the 1.9 million forecast is not that much. And initial was right on target. What was interesting is it looks like everybody was right that manufacturers and importers are stockpiling because the forecast for durable goods orders was a 2.1% increase. Instead, it's a pretty big differential here at 9.2% increase. So almost, let's call it 10%. We're averaging up here. Which is a pretty big, increase in durable goods orders in the month of March. Keep in mind, this is latent data, right? So this is March data. Anyway, so looks like, we got more stuff stock in the warehouses ahead of tariffs. Makes sense. I don't know if that, it's what's expected, I guess, although I'm surprised they didn't forecast the number higher. Later this morning, we do have existing home sales were expected to come out, and this Atlanta Fed, the GDP Now number, which they produce every month, maybe even every couple of weeks. It seems like it's pretty frequent these days. Normally, I don't pay much attention to it, but I'm just thinking it may have some market relevance. We'll see how that number comes out. If it comes out to the negative 2.2, so that's GDP contraction overall that they're expected for this latest reporting period, whatever that is. So we'll find that out at 1 o'clock, and we'll see if the market actually cares and reacts to it. What the market does seem to care about is earnings. We were ahead of earnings, specifically on, Tesla we were talking about yesterday. Last night we had a couple of earnings that we were looking at. The market does seem to be a little more focused on it, and I think today is going to be another big one with who we got. We've got Alphabet, so basically Google reporting tonight after the close. That'll be certainly a big one to look forward to.
Yeah, it sure will. And also Intel, it should be interesting because that stock has been somewhat fun to look at. I haven't had much trading opportunities on it, but I know many traders have, so can't wait to see what happens there. All right, on our gappers list this morning, let's dive into some of the stuff that's gapping up this morning. We got a few of them up in double digits here, BCTX and CEP. I don't think I ever seen CEP, so we'll see what's that about, and then we'll hop into the few that are gapping down. So let's start with BCTX this morning, and let me see if I can just do this right. BCTX, there we go. So, looks horrible. Bria Cell Therapeutics. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to be. It is up 42%, Peter. Obviously, some news, maybe some FDA approval. I haven't not looked this up, but not typically something that's going to fall on my list. What's going on with them today?
Look, it looks like they are working on curing cancer. So, metastatic breast cancer, they just completed a study on it using their latest technology. And it looks like, according to the headline here anyways, they have confirmed a 100% resolution of tumor in the lung of metastatic breast cancer patients following a 2-month therapy. 100%. That's high. Obviously, they've cured it. I'm not sure. This thing should be up 8 million% if they actually have cured it. But anyways, look, this is a specific trial on a very specific treatment. So it's great news. Whether this is going to be tradable or not, I don't know. But as soon as someone says that they've got 100% resolution, that seems to me like, again, we shouldn't. I don't know. Shouldn't it be higher? Shouldn't there be more shares traded? I don't know. Apparently, It's not quite as cured as the headline implies.
Yeah. Something I'm not going to be watching, guys. Again, I'm not a big fan of these type of tickers, and this one just doesn't look even exciting, even pre-market right now. So unless it starts coming back up, you can short it. Hard to borrow with Interactive Brokers, so not really something that's even in play if you want to short this thing at the moment. Heading down to the next one is going to be, I just had it here, CEP. So CEP is the next on deck, and what we have going on here, we are up 16%. This one is interesting. We had a great day yesterday too. Like, look at the big pop yesterday, and the day before we went from 1050 looks like to 1250, up to almost 18 this morning, up at 1930 currently, as high as 2180. So we're high flying on this thing. Cantor Equity Partners. So obviously some great news driving this higher.
Yeah, look, I have no idea. Unfortunately, this is a shell company. It's really just it's a bucket of money, and these things move without any news normally, right? There's not a lot to report normally because it is literally just money sloshing around in a tradable form. So I don't even know what to do about it. I've got no news, no analyst coverage. It's one of these. It's got exactly a 10 million share float. So to me, it's just there's nothing you can do with this, in my opinion.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Looks horrible. We'll skip it. Let's take a look at TXN this morning. This is Texas Instrument. We only see them when we have earnings. I haven't not even looked this up, but it's probably earnings because they don't trade well. It's not a stock we look at. In the last couple of days, you could see a higher increase in volume, but this is all market tariff stuff that we've been getting, just a huge increase in volume over the last couple of weeks, right? So today, obviously, Peter, earnings, and there's treating them well.
Yeah, look, earnings from last night and this morning really start to paint a picture of how this whole tariff uncertainty is affecting different industries and different market segments very, very differently. So, we've been focusing a lot on the uncertainty, and a lot of companies have been pulling forecasting, but not all. Texas Instruments, for example, and we'll talk about a few others that are in different situations. They beat their numbers in the quarter and said they've actually seen an increase in demand for their chips. So, you know what? I'm perhaps being, having on some onshore manufacturing in the U.S. has created people with a little bit of protective orders with Texas Instruments, and they've actually increased their guidance for the full year. So that's good news that they're raising their guidance and had a very positive quarter. Like you said, we only see these guys normally during earnings season. So, but this might be an interesting opportunity to trade them. The volume's not as high as I'd want to see pre-market to really get me super excited about it, but I'm thinking I might just put it on a secondary list just to see what it does, because it is in a very unique position in a unique market. So, and how do you catch a special rabbit, Carlos?
I
Unique up
haven't
on
heard this one. I don't know. How do you?
unique up on them. Anyways, all right. There's bad dad joke for you. Anyways, I
I'm
was using
gonna.
the word unique a lot. It put that in my head.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how the
Uh
comments come in on that one.
yeah. Anyways, all right. That one was a stretch a little bit, but I always liked it. Okay. Anyways, Texas Instruments. It's in a unique position. Yeah, I think I might actually put it on a secondary list just to see what happens. I'm thinking the chances of a good trade are slim, but I might watch it anyways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I'm gonna keep it off the list for now. But I'm glad you're watching it because I know if you see something great, you'll call it out. so, so we have
BT's saying
eyes on it.
it's not even 9 a.m. It's too early for this type of jokes, man.
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right.
Next on the list, guys, CADL. This is Candor Therapeutics. I got a lot of therapeutics company on here this morning. These guys are up 5.7, 662,000 shares traded. Again, just something that doesn't fit my criteria. It won't be on my list. I'm not sure about yours, Peter.
Look, not making my list, but it seems to be a day for companies curing different types of cancer. They have a phase 3 trial that's going very well for localized prostate cancer. So that's the news this morning, that their phase 3 trial had very positive results of this CAN 2409 trial, which again, I like to hear that. Anyways, that's my high risk category apparently, based on age and gender. So you go, guys, but probably not tradable.
Yeah.
Are we oversharing today? What's happening? Anyways, never mind. Let's move
No,
on.
not yet. Not yet. I think we're good. We're good so far. We like getting close to the
True.
cliff, and hopefully we don't fall off it.
Yeah.
But let's see. Intel,
Hopefully, strong gust of wind, and
INTC.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. INTC, my friend, in play today. I will be watching. It will be on my primary list. I mean, it has earnings coming up tonight, but this stock has been very volatile, I want to say the least, and has been having a lot of catalysts and news behind it. So even going into earnings today, I think you are going to get some movement and volatility. And today, pre-market alone, they're looking pretty good. So I like that. They're 4.4 million shares traded, which again, they're not shy to high volume in the pre-market. We've seen them get that type of volume and just be flat, right? Not really do anything. But the fact that they're moving like this morning makes it a little bit more interesting. Ahead of earnings, up 2.6 this morning. So I like that. Will be on my list this morning.
Yeah, and look, this is a strange time in the market. Very strange time for chip stocks, of course. And in Intel's case, they actually had appointed a new CEO a couple of months ago. So this is the CEO's first quarterly earnings report. And what a time to take over a chip company, eh? And then have to sort of demonstrate that you're making an impact. It could be interesting. I think the earnings, it's unlikely to be a huge surprise, I think, but it's tough to tell how the market's going to react no matter what the numbers are. Even if the numbers come out and they're just right on target, are they going to be rewarded or punished for that? I mean, it's probably going to be guidance based. It's going to depend on the commentary. Are they going to hold or remove their guidance? Are they going to increase their guidance? Like, I think everybody's just sort of looking at the downstream effect, and it's probably going to be more on guidance and commentary than whatever they did in the quarter. Not a completely new picture, right? It's usually on guidance, but I think now, again, the guidance and the commentary, people are trying to read into this. What does this actually mean? How is this? Obviously the tariffs have been dominating our news cycle and stock movement. How is a chip company, as they're reporting, actually reacting to this, and what are they prepared to tell us about it? So we'll see. Leading up to it, Intel, I don't know what to expect about them trading. I'm surprised at the move this morning. Big, strong move happened around 6 a.m. this morning as Intel moved higher. Big volume. We've already got 4.5 million shares traded, so this might be some interesting opportunity throughout the day. But obviously, we're waiting for the earnings, right, which is happening. I think it's right after the close on this one. What is the time of it?
Sure, on the time.
Right at the close, 4:00. Yeah. So
yeah. That's good. We'll get it right after. So awesome. All right, we're looking forward to that, man. I think it's going to be a good one. Even today, I think it'll be fun to watch and see if there's any opportunities on here. So looking forward to it. All right, back to our Gappers list, friends. Brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. You can always get great information there. And here what we have, the next one's going to be SMCI. So SMCI is the last one on this list at the moment. And you can see here we are so far. SMCI, we're up 2.6, 914,000 shares traded, pre-market activity. I'm seeing a lot of this. This Gappers list might grow today, Peter, because there's a lot of stocks that you see they were in the red, they're in the green. SMCI is on the Gappers list, but there's some other ones that are not showing there yet that if they continue on this trend are going to start popping up. So SMCI is another one. Good move this morning, decent volume. I normally don't watch them, but I think today I might like this one. What's your thoughts on this one, Peter?
Yeah. The market was pretty much flat this morning, but it is starting to move directionally. So we'll see if that continues. So you're right. We might see a lot more stuff jump on the Gappers list. SMCI specifically, it actually moved really well yesterday. Carlos, you and I were watching it a little bit at the open. I did keep an eye on it throughout the day. And it had some good price action that you could take advantage of. Not perfect for my trading strategies, but I had to appreciate the fact that it was moving fairly well, and there was some opportunity as things oscillated up and down. The market largely moved like this yesterday, right? We had the big drop off to hit the lows of the day, usually around 12:30 for most things yesterday. Then we had a pullback, and then the sell off again. So again, it's not dissimilar to a lot of stocks tickers. If you could overlay that with a lot of the chip stocks or the Magnificent Seven, they looked very similar. But I did appreciate the movement on SMCI. So like you said, Carlos, maybe worth keeping an eye on. I mean, chips are they've got movement. They've got trading opportunity. So
yeah, they sure do. Going to be adding that one there, and I'm also going to put again. I know we haven't got to it, but we will in a second. POTR. I mean, I love the way this one looks right now in the morning. Tons of activity. It's not hitting our Gappers list, but I'm going to add that on there to the primary list, so we're up to date on that. We'll talk a little bit more about that one as well. Peter, this kind of covers our gap up so far. Again, I think it's going to grow pretty fast and aggressive here if things continue the way they are. But what else do you like this morning, or any other earnings we have not covered yet?
There's lots of earnings we haven't talked about. Let's just focus on the gap up stuff for the moment. What else is gapping up? Last night we had earnings on ServiceNow, NOW. ServiceNow beat their numbers and raised their guidance. So remember we were talking, as I mentioned, different picture for different segments. I think you've got ONW there. You got NOW. That's what we're looking for.
NOW?
NOW. Yeah, okay. Now, there you go. So they again had a good quarter and raised their guidance. So I'm noticing that service-based companies, especially software and service companies, generally seem to be doing fairly well. So they have not been as impacted by the tariffs. makes sense, right? The tariffs have been focused mostly on physical goods and the movement of goods around the world. Services, not to say they're not impacted. That would not be a true statement, but the impact is less, right, and less noticeable, I guess. And right now, the services seem to be doing okay. So ServiceNow actually increased their fiscal year guidance and are looking pretty solid. Not, I don't know. Like I've always wanted to trade them. There was a brief period of time before the pandemic when I really enjoyed watching this and trading it, but it's been a while. And pre-market, you can see it doesn't make our list because it actually doesn't even have enough volume. There's only 111,000 shares traded, and you even have a hard time finding those shares on the chart. So you can watch it, but it's just a low volume trade, and it's a NYSE stock on top of it. So anyways, there you go.
Yeah.
For the other one for earnings, it's gone red now. All right, look, I guess we'll handle all the rest as we get to the gap down list because everything else seems to be red at the moment.
All right, we'll definitely do that. On the gap down, guys, not much on here. We got three. Two of them are Chinese companies, TAL, JD. Not sure what SRAT is, so let's find out. First one on here is TAL. TAL, a Chinese education company. They normally do not trade very well. Very scary to trade these stocks. I just stay away from it. I'd rather look at other things, right? These smaller stocks that are Chinese are scary at times. So it is down 30%, 1.9 million shares traded. There's no doubt that it is in play, but again, just typically something that's not going to fall into my watch list, Peter. They're obviously having some big movement this morning.
Yeah, I find that there's a couple of companies in this space. They're all Chinese based. They're education services in China, but happen to trade on the U.S. market, I guess, to attract capital. It's just a market segment we don't understand very well, right? This large-scale private education systems that seem to be prevalent in China, and they seem to be very much affected by regulation. Right? It's usually regulation within China, of course, because that's where they operate. But I just can never figure them out. There doesn't seem to be a lot of analyst coverage. You don't get a lot of details about them. So the news is usually pretty light, and it usually comes out late. So I'm seeing now that they have a share repurchase program. That should be a good thing that they've decided to extend. They did have quarterly earnings, so it looks like their revenue was slightly under expectations, and bottom line profits looks like they lost money, but I don't know. Again, there's really no analyst. I don't know. There's no prediction, so I don't know whether it was on target or off target, but I assume it's off target because of the fact that they're dropping. I've never tried to trade these. I just don't like the way they move.
We might have looked at them before to realize how bad they were, because they were active at one point, a bunch of them, and then we realized how horrible they were in the intraday action. We just don't watch them anymore. So yeah, we'll skip on that one. SM, the longest ticker I know here, SMC.
CSA, yeah.
C. I mean, just whatever. All these letters. There it is. SMC, whatever. Okay. Peter,
Comcast.
This thing is
Let's just call
Comcast. They come Comcast. They should have just went with Com or Cast. Like that would have been perfect, but they decided to do this nonsense here.
It's unusual. I have to believe that they got this ticker in the early days of the NASDAQ. They were probably one of the early adopters, and because the whole trend was to go to the longer tickers because the New York Stock Exchange wouldn't allow it, right? They had actually limited everybody to 3-letter tickers, and I guess they just went crazy and went full 5 letters, which nowadays, normally you see 5 letters, you generally think of SPAC, right? Like a shell company. This is not. This is Comcast. We've been seeing the earnings day after day of a number of the U.S. Sort of telcos and broadband service providers. They're in that bucket. This is like the worst trading of the bunch, right? If you didn't like the way AT&T moved, if you don't like the way, what was the other one we were watching? Was it T-Mobile? No, it wasn't T-Mobile. What was the other one that had come out? I got to go back in my
T-Mobile, list here, AT&T.
Yeah, but before AT&T, there was another one that we had looked at. Verizon, yeah. And Verizon. If you don't like how they move, you're going to hate this one. I'm just not a fan. So look, they had earnings, but and they lost more subscribers than anticipated. So it looks like they're a net loser, where AT&T was a net gainer. I just I don't care. It's tough.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah.
like it, it's all yours. Let me know how it goes, but I won't be watching it.
Yeah, their pre-market action again has a lot of movement this morning. Volume seems okay, but again, it's just I know we're gonna find better things to look at. 100%. Let's take a look at JD's, another one on the list this morning that is down 3.8, 720,000 shares traded. So got some good volume here, down quite a bit. Their daily does look pretty nice here. We've been losing some ground sharply, and we're losing. Looks like a level of support that we had for quite some time. November, again in January, and or December, can't tell exactly what it is there, and then in April. So that could be interesting. I don't like the pre-market right now. It doesn't look great. Usually when this one is doing something, the other Chinese tickers are looking better, but they're on their own today because Baba is no, it's not following that drop there, Peter. So they must have their own thing happening today that's not looking good.
Yeah, and JD, I have to admit, I've never actually known the name of the company. Apparently, it's Jingdong. JD.
You know what? That's funny, man. We've been talking about JD for
I,
years, and we
I
never
know.
bought to. That just tells you we're so day traders. Like we are
Yeah.
day traders to the core here, man. We don't care what the name of the company is. If your technicals are going to
Well,
trade right, we're going to take advantage of it. But wow,
yeah,
interesting.
the name even comes up when you research it, just JD.com, right? I know they're a
Right, that's
retailer.
what
I
I
know they're
thought.
a competitor to Amazon, but this article just happens to mention their name several times. So apparently their formal name is Jingdong. So they're, anyways, whatever. But I think the reason why it's in the news here is because they decided they're going to try and take on Amazon in the UK market. So they're going to be trying entering the UK and compete with other online retailers there. So we'll see how that goes for them. They are so they're going on shore to Britain. So if you're there in the UK, I guess let me know how it goes. Apparently they've got a very ambitious hiring campaign. They're trying to steal workers from Tesco. I know Tesco well for visiting my son in Scotland. Tesco's like I don't even know what to call it. It's like a Walmart combined with a giant gas station. Like it's just you just buy everything at Tesco, sort of like a Walmart. But anyways, yeah, they will. I guess I wish them luck, but apparently the market is not as excited about that move and that news today because they are gapping down about 4%. So
Yeah, yeah, they are not doing so hot here. So I'm not sure on the fence whether I put them on my list or not. I mean, daily looks interesting. The intraday not so much. So maybe a possible. It might not stick around there for long. But for now, let's throw it on the possibles list in the secondary here and see what it looks like a little bit later. All right, friends, heading back to our gappers list this morning. I think that covers it. Oh, we're missing one. SRAD, SRAD this morning. Sport Radar. Okay. So Sport Radar. As you can see here, we are down. No, hold on. That's not it. Why is my thing not linking? It's very weird. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, we're slightly down this morning. I don't like this, man. Very light volume on the daily. It's not something I'm gonna be wanting to spend my time on watching. So I'm gonna skip on it, Peter.
I've never heard of this. This is a what is it? What do they even do? Sport Radar Group. They're out of Switzerland, of all places. Anyways, look, it's secondary offering. The only reason they're on the list is because they've announced that they're issuing another 23 million shares at about 22.50 a share. So look at where the price is, right? It's come right down to that share offering level, and not a surprise. I mean, this is pretty significant. Their current float is about 168 million. So another 23 million shares is 15% of their float being added. So that's that's going to have a dilutive impact. Like you said, though, doesn't mean it's tradable. So I think you move on.
Yeah, yeah, horrible. Question in chat. Khaled is asking, do we trade ETFs, SSQ, TQQQ? Yeah, there's a bunch of traders that do. I personally don't. I like trading the individual stocks directly, but there's a bunch of us in the community that trade the ETF. So you're going to see that a lot. And even traders here in the comments, I see these guys going short, long, and all this stuff. So just be careful on the leverage stuff, right? That's something you got to be really, really cautious with when it comes to risk management. All right, that covers our gap up and gap down. Peter, what do you have that maybe we haven't talked about yet? I know there's tons of earnings as they're rolling in this week. What else is on there that's gapping down today?
Well, that's a good question. So a lot of earnings that I was looking at, and I can't remember if have we talked about IBM yet? Maybe not.
No, no.
All right, let's talk IBM then. They had earnings after the close yesterday. It was one of the ones that we were primarily looking at. And I know a couple people in the room did take advantage to try and trade this thing. Initial little pop up and then it dropped off despite good numbers. Again, another sort of service-based company. I mean, IBM used to be like the heavy iron tech company, right? Now, most of their money is made on services. And IBM, I shouldn't say most. Actually, I have no idea what percentage of, but I know them more as a services company than producing things. I mean, I know they still produce physical equipment, but in any event, they had a good quarter, beat their numbers, top and bottom line, delivered positive results, and actually raised their guidance. So another example of a company raising guidance. So so far, it looks like tech is not getting completely beaten down. And that they have some opportunity. Other list, and IBM, by the way, as a trading opportunity, can be tough. I sometimes watch it just because it can actually trade okay. Like there are opportunities on it. You just have to be very particular. Like don't force it. Don't force any trade. What else? Chipotle. That's sort of one that, again, I keep saying I'm disappointed with it because they actually changed their they did a stock split. CMG is Chipotle, and they changed their they did a stock split, and I was hoping that would change the trading profile on this, and it looks like it didn't really. There's just doesn't trade as well as I expect. In this case, they had a mixed picture. They actually missed on revenue, but beat on earnings. They did come out strong and said, despite all of the tariffs and the expected impact on guac. Remember, we were talking earlier, we were making fun of guacamole prices because of all the tariffs to Mexico. And you notice how Mexico and Canada, we sort of faded off into the background for the time being, as the focus has gone to China on the tariff war. We're happy to be here in the background. Ignore us. Nothing to see here. Anyways.
Peter, I was watching something earlier today on Bloomberg. Some person from Canada, an analyst from Canada, was talking to Bloomberg rep, and one of the things they asked her was, are Canadians still mad at the tariffs and everything else? And her response was, I forget her name. Her response was, we're not really mad at that. We know why he's doing it. We're more pissed at the 51 state comment that Trump made.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true? Is that like by far like the biggest thing that's driving Canadians crazy?
Look, we've got this type of stuff all over the place. That the nationalistic sentiment that has been raised because of this is amazing. Like, it's really created a visceral reaction, and it's one of those where it's a very strange thing to be Canadian right now, because in the polite Canadian way, I guess, it's like we're not mad at Americans. Like we get the average American. This has nothing to do with you as an individual. We just don't like. Yes. We just don't like the statements from the administration, right? Like, and that's what's frustrating us. And it is very personal. We are a tiny country compared to the U.S. So threats of our sovereignty, even if it's meant in jest, is one of those things that again, some people react very harshly to. Others are like, "Come on, like it was just a throwaway comment." So it's hard to know. Like, at this point, that's why I said we're happy to just be fading into the background. We're ignore us. Nothing to be up here.
It's funny when I heard that, when I saw her saying, I'm like, that can't be right. Really, that's nothing. It's a stupid comment. Like, don't take it serious. But she was like really serious about it. And I'm talking to you about, like, oh, this is a big deal. Like, this is a problem. That they're not happy about this.
And we watch, we watch what happens in other countries, right? I mean, it's one of those things. Like, Canadians were I would argue, very impacted by J.D. Vance's visit to Greenland, Because when he went to Greenland, like he was making all sorts of statements in Greenland about annexing them, and we could take you over anytime we want, and we'll just give you guys a couple of bucks, and Greenland will be ours, and it's one of those. Are we next? What does that actually mean? Are they really going to do this? So because it took what was a throwaway comment from Trump and then suddenly doubled down on it, right? And that's one of the things we're sort of waiting to see what's going to happen. But I think that's past. Anyways, it's all behind. So we don't need to worry about that for the moment.
Yeah,
there's lots of stocks moving.
Yeah, we need Canada and Mexico on our good side because obviously avocados come from the south. We need those here, and energy comes from the north. We just need to be a
energy, softwood lumber,
happy group. Yes. All right, let's get to the stocks here.
So others I've got here on the list that we need to talk about. There's a lot of stuff moving, and some stuff is bopping between red and green that I wanted to talk about. But look, I'll just mention quickly. There's earnings on a bunch of stuff that we don't need to talk about. But if you're interested, there was earnings on Nokia, Pepsi, Merck & Co., Dow Chemical, Las Vegas Sands. All of these had earnings, most of which I would normally sort of watch at different times. Probably the biggest of the earnings from this morning that's worth mentioning is American Airlines. American Airlines is an interesting one in that they had earnings this morning. And they actually beat their numbers. So they delivered $12.55 billion in revenue versus $12.52, and they actually they didn't lose as much money as anticipated. Their net earnings were a loss of 59 cents a share versus an expected 69 cents. So that's good, right, in the quarter. However, they actually lowered their guidance for the next quarter. And, in line, I guess, with what we were seeing with some other companies. Now, this is a service industry that absolutely is being impacted, of course, by tariffs. And it just creates uncertainty on travel. We've heard a lot about, travel out of different places, especially Europe, has been deeply affected. And partly is because there's uncertain reception at, by customs officials and things and all sorts of tales that frankly have frightened tourists. So American is saying we don't know what to make of that. They actually lowered their Q2 guidance and pulled their full year guidance. So interesting that they are saying, look, the farther out we look, the less certain it becomes. So we're just not sure. That's got them gapping down this morning as they're down only about 1%, but on some decent volume. So I think it might be worth watching. American Airlines, again, earnings this morning. It's probably the biggest of the ones that of all those earnings that I was talking about. So.
Yeah, I like American Airlines too. And they were talking about it this morning also and mentioning how they pull their guidance. They don't have a good outlook. They didn't have a great last couple of quarters, especially with flights travel being down. And people have this still as a buy. So I like that because I'm in it for long term. They just feel it's too oversold. And you can see it here. It's not dropping. It's all the negative news and they're still just flat. So some of these tickers, man, I love this one for long term. It's looking pretty nice. So we'll see where it goes. But friends, what else? Let's go to you guys. What do you guys like this morning? What's on your list? Again, there's not a lot that's looking very shiny and bright this morning, but I think we will get there eventually as far as gapping up and down. I think there will be some opportunities. PLTR, as we mentioned earlier, I do have this one on deck. It is up just slightly under 1%. But if you look at the intraday action this morning, I mean, this thing went down to 98.80, I think. Yeah, 98.72, back up to 102 into the green. So the activity so far this morning has been great on it. So that's going to make it buy the spot there on my primary list. Let's see what else. SMCI, yes, I have that one on deck. Did I type that wrong? No, that is correct. SMCI is on my primary list, so that's good. OKLO, what ended up happening with this? I know they had negative news with the departure of Sam Altman, and I don't see anything. I think this is gonna go. This is exactly what should happen. Like this guy, okay, he left. So what? You got a company manual. Run the company. That's just what's going on here. Like he's not Elon Musk, right? It's different. So just run the company. We're back up here. Everything's fine. So I don't know if this is gonna really be in play today. I'm not sure. It might go higher. How much we're paying this guy, so it's less money now. So this is a good thing for them. It should be popping up. All right. What else? Let's take a look here. TXN. Yes, Peter has one on his list. I personally don't like it, but Peter mentioned a couple of great things that he
Yep.
saw in it this morning, and I mean they're up 10%. I mean they're crushing it today, 675,000. So depending how I fill up my gappers list, if I have space, this will be here. All right. Another one I'm seeing on deck here is Nvidia, and we'll look at PayPal next. Nvidia this morning, yeah, looking very similar to a lot of the other tickers are moving with the overall market, but it is Nvidia. Although it does give us a hard time at times trading it. I will add it here to the list on the secondary though for Nvidia today. Let's see on the secondary. I know you guys will be watching this, so I won't have it front and center, but call out if you see something great on it. One we haven't talked about in a while is PayPal. And no. This is not it, man. This is not.
Oh, no, no,
This
no.
no. I'm gonna skip on this one. What's the comment on that? So Mark Adam, I don't see this being in play right now. When do they have earnings? When they have earnings, we'll be talking about these guys again, right? So far the daily's just moving alongside whatever the market is doing. So nothing to
Next,
see here. Is it
yeah,
coming
next
up?
Tuesday morning is when they have
Well,
earnings.
that's when we'll have it in our watch list for sure. Because with earnings, they do trade very well. They tend to, right? Things have been changing lately, but they tend to do okay. Nobody has mentioned Tesla yet, huh? Are we getting tired of
Nope.
watching Tesla?
No, never,
Nah, never,
never.
never, never.
Nah, well, not yet. Anyways, I shouldn't say never.
Yeah,
Everything comes and goes, but it's still
yeah,
worth watching.
yeah. I still love my little thing here. By the way, this was pre politics, whatever your side you're on. It has nothing to do with politics. We had this before that. In fact, we could get a sticker on this one. This gift was before he joined any
Oh yeah,
political side, right? So just letting you know, if
oh
you've been
yeah.
here for a while, you know. But we got some good stuff there from Elon. All right, yeah, Tesla obviously looking almost like Nvidia as well. It's got the same move this morning, volume 3.6 right now, and yeah, Tesla's always fun. So I'm gonna throw that on my list as well, and see where we go from there. Was my one of my biggest trades of the month on Tesla yesterday. So how can we not be happy about this one? All right, friends. I think that kind of covers it. Anything else that we might have missed? TXN. Yeah, I know TXN looks good. You know, I got space. I'll add it on here. I'll add it onto the secondary. We talked about it earlier. Again, it's got some good movement. So yeah, we'll add it on there. Mark Adams giving us Baba. Mark is trying to redeem himself here after that first one he threw out. Let's see if he can do it. Yeah, he can do it. He can do it with this one. Baba, we're pretty flat right now, 360,000. So again, we've been watching it more often than not. I don't see it being great today. So, but I do have JD on there. So by having JD on the list, I'm gonna think of Baba because it's just for some reason they go hand in hand. At one point, Peter, if you remember, a while back, these two, they just were trading. It's like I thought they were related companies because they were just moving together. Like you could literally look at Baba, you could look at JD, and you could trade them almost simultaneously and get the same move. So a couple of years back, not the same. Baba has done a lot of bigger headlines with Apple AI and all this other stuff they got going on. So they definitely separated as far as how they move with volume and action. So, but yeah, nothing to see right now. We can always take a look at it a little bit later. All right, friends, let's go over to bearbootraders.com and you can always see what's happening there. Click on webinars. This will show you what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today's beautiful Thursday, so let's go and see what's happening Thursday.
Oh, what's happening?
Peter,
There we go.
Peter,
I'm here.
Peter,
Sorry,
Peter.
I was
Okay.
playing with pictures. All right, yeah. So I was in community events. Yeah, it's Thursday, like you mentioned, which means that we do have some activities to talk to you about. First off, we've got mentorship. That's what we do on Thursdays primarily, and we got a couple of sessions that you need to know about. First, Lenny's going to talk about trend trading. That's at 11. Then Jared takes over and talks options at noon. All of these, by the way, are going to be for all of our elite members, and they happen in the webinar room. So 11 and 12, which is typical on Thursday. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock tonight, Thor takes over the airways and does all his mentorship activities and runs over trades, addresses your questions. It's always a great session and well attended. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Our community's on the move. People are out doing things and having fun. Mike posted yesterday. He is at the he was visiting. He's got a thing for Starbucks, by the way. He likes to collect mugs, I think, from all the different Starbucks.
I did hear something like that. It's like he travels to them,
Yeah,
like some kind of
and
vacation destination.
he does. He said he's going to have to try and find one in France. So there you go. And yesterday he posted this for us. He actually visited, I guess, the original Starbucks in Seattle, where they have like the old logo still on the picture there. In fact, as he was pointing out, it's not the current PG rated. This is we gotta censor that. There you go. Just take the nudity off.
Yeah,
But
it's not get
anyways,
canceled.
there you go. So he and his wife at the Starbucks in Seattle before they take off to head to London and then down to France as we get ready for this marathon. It's coming real. I think the closer we get, the less prepared I feel, and it's one of those. It's like, guys, for any of you that have run races, I'm like, the whole thing has me tapering, but now I don't feel like I'm running enough, and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting unfit over the last week because I'm just not running enough. But it's not like I haven't been. Anyways, whatever. I don't know. I just want to get this thing over with. I really am I'm tired of it. Anyways, all right, but that's my problem. I'll deal with it, guys. I hope whatever you do, you pay attention to what's happening in the community. Take advantage of all the things we've got. And if you wanted to join the community, then we'd love to welcome you. BearableTraders.com is the place to go. You can check out our membership options. We've got a number of them, including one that bundles our Peak Capital Bootcamp with the Bearable Traders chat room. It's a great bundle. It really, if you want to dive deep on your trading over the next couple of months, this is the way to do it. As I've been saying, you know what, Mike, I don't know. I know you're out there. Do you know, are there still spots left for the May boot camp, or are we sold out yet? I'm not sure. Andrew was saying that there's only a few spots left, but that being said, we sometimes can make a little bit extra room if we have big demand. So Mike's saying that yes, we've sort of increased the group size, I guess. So yeah, we've got more space, and we can accommodate. So if you wanted to join, there's still a couple of spots left for the May bootcamp, or of course you could join for the September one. Whatever you choose to do, it's a great intensive course. It really helps accelerate your journey. If you've got questions about it, and a couple people have been emailing me questions, and that's great because I can help you then understand what you're getting into, what to expect, and how you can sort of take advantage of that. So feel free, email me, Peter at pcapitaltrading.com or Peter at bearabletraders.com. Either one, I will answer and give you whatever support you need, or pass you on to the people that can. So hopefully you will consider joining us. All right, with that, let's set some levels. We're getting close to the open here. We've got just under 13 minutes, and then I'll let you know what our moderators are watching, and we'll get ready to go live on our live trading.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. If you're interested, join. And you know my motto on this. If you really want to join, just click it. If you get in, we'll figure out how to get you into the club, into the boot camp, into whatever you're trying to get into. Just join. Just go through it, and if you get in, you get in, right? So we'd love to have you guys there. All right, let's see. We have Intel, SMCI, PLTR, and Tesla. So just these four for me. We got a couple of good secondary stuff like American Airlines and NVIDIA as well. But let's start here. INTC earnings after hours today. Is it today, Peter? Right? Or is it It's Intel? Yeah. Intel?
Yeah.
Intel's today, right? Yeah, today with Google. Yeah, it is Thursday, correct. So Intel's today, guys. So we'll definitely be seeing some action out of them after hours. But for right now, it's looking good. Up 2.2, 4.9. High of the pre-market, 21.15. We're going to slam a level there. And if you look at towards the bottom here, you're set with the highs and lows for the last two trading days. Do not need to add anything else. You even got the previous day close right on here as well. So that is looking pretty good. Tons of stuff down there. Do not make it more complicated than what it needs to be. 21.66, the next level I see on the daily. A lot of stuff happening there. And then above that, 22.20. You got a couple days slamming into that opening and closing right around that area. So that's good. You definitely want to have that down as well. So I like that there for Intel. Again, they're daily, very similar to what we've been seeing from a lot of tickers. It's their pre-market that I kind of like this morning more. So looking very nice there as far as the pre-market goes. All right, back to the next one on our list is SMCI. This one also looking very nice this morning. So I do like the volume 1.2 up 2.1. High of the pre-market here, we're looking at 33.86. We'll slam one there. And then towards the bottom, low of the pre-market, 32.40. That's also a great place. If you look at the bigger picture here, we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So you're pretty much set there. And if you look a little bit higher, just in case we break out towards the top, we do have a nice level of 35.96 a couple of days, using that as resistance right over here before they're able to just slam back down. So definitely want to slam a level there. Next, we do have PLTR. So again, my favorite ticker of the day is PLTR. This thing has been trading very, very well. For me at least. So PLTR 102.05 towards the bottom. The low is going to be all the way down at 98.75. So already this morning, red to green move here, getting a little bit of resistance at 102 area. If I move to the left, we have been high. If you guys remember, we actually covered this entire gap up, right? We were back up there again. So if you guys remember, we had a big move when they had some announcements. 106.43. The next level I see on here above that, I do see 109.55. Again, that's a stretch. But this stock can move. Like, this stock can be very explosive. We've seen it do it over and over again. They get good volume. Even on their slow days, they're still doing about 90 million shares plus. So it makes them fun to watch and very, very likely to get going if the market is going to push higher. Here's Tesla. Tesla, always a great ticker, always on our list. Again, just a lot of volatility, a lot of action here. 252.55 is the high of the pre-market. The low is pretty much where we've been getting a lot of support and resistance. Look at this level right over here. I'll draw the line for you. That is, we'll call that, what is this? 242.25, right in that area. So again, a lot of action there. You have support, you have resistance, you name it. It has been happening right around this area, especially in the last two trading days. Look at the high of the day here, and low of the day here. So there's a lot happening there for Tesla. And then you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. I don't see any good level in between there. Only a level above. If we break out, there's one over at 263.51. Other than that, Tesla has pretty much been trading in this range, right? So we had this range before, right over here. This right under 260, slightly above below 245. We dropped below that, but we're back into this area where Tesla just loves to hang out at. So not sure what that means, if we're going to be choppy or not. Either way, in the pre-market, you can still get a $7 move just in the pre-market hours. So it's just such a great stock to watch. It really is. So Tesla on deck, and that covers my watch list, Peter. Let's see what our moderators is watching this morning. Then Andrew and Brian trading live in our chat. Peter and I here on YouTube. So make sure you stick around for that.
Indeed, we've got lots to go here. The day's just getting started, and Carlos, I'm hoping for a great one. So let's talk about what our moderators are watching, because they're getting their lists in. We'll start with Lenny again in first, and he always has a big list. He's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, IBM, Comcast, CMCSA, Texas Instruments, MU, so Micron, and Intel. Megan is going to be watching just Tesla and the market overall. Thor is going to be watching NVIDIA and IBM, as well as Apple. Mike's not watching anything. He's in a hotel with bad internet, so sorry about that, Mike. No trading for him. Avi's going to be watching Apple, AMD, Tesla, and NVIDIA. I've got my usual watch list. I think, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to keep an eye on American Airlines and Texas Instruments. We'll see what moves. Eamon, two potential longs on CVX. He's going with the railways today, or rail service providers, and IWM. Both he says risky trades. Pierre's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, PLTR, Intel, and SMCI. Phil's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, PLTR, Intel, and SPY. Brian watching Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, AMD, and Apple. And Brendan in with his list in Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, and AMD. I saw some people asking about Andrew's travel plans. Is he, I can't remember, is he on his way to China, or is it, I have no idea when he's traveling. I don't see him in. Normally, he's been so early. He's not in the room yet. So
I don't know if he was traveling today.
No, he leaves Saturday. Okay, so he should be here this week then. I assume that he's coming into the room, trading live with Brian. We were talking about tariffs, Carlos, and China, just to change tax just for 1 minute, because I thought this was hilarious. Megan sent this through this morning. I thought I'd share it with everybody. Have you got the ads from Temu? I don't know how to say it, but they're always advertising all
Yeah.
this crappy stuff. All this
I got
crappy
I got a
stuff.
jacket from them. I got an actual
Did
leather
you really?
jacket. Yeah, me and Avi
Yeah,
convinced me to get it.
for like
Like
$3.95.
$32. $32. So it
There
must
you
not have been
go.
in this warehouse, but yeah, for $32.
So
I have it
I
somewhere
thought
here.
this was funny that she put this thing up that a
That's
27,000
hilarious.
square foot Temu warehouse went up. Total loss of inventory $56.19 USD. So there you go. That's anyways, it just struck me as funny because yeah, I'm always getting advertised by them like they are, I don't know, they're spending a lot of money advertising, and it's always the, like get the ratchet tool set for free, or get like these really tacky seat covers. My apologies, by the way, if anybody has seat covers in your car. I hate them. I find them so
And the steering
they're
wheel
like
covers.
they're like the plastic sofa covers you used to find in your like grandparents' house in the 80s. Pardon me if you have those too, but anyways, never mind. I just not my thing.
So
So
here's my jacket, man, from Temu.com.
oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at this.
Okay.
32 bucks. Looks good. You can't even tell. You know?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
real pleather.
Absolutely. You can't get it wet, though. Don't go outside in the rain. Because I'm not sure what's going to happen.
It would like shrink immediately. It'd be like the size of
Oh.
a doll jacket. You'd be stuck
Exactly.
in it forever.
Yeah,
have
but
to
it's
cut it
got some
off.
pockets. Yeah, feels okay.
Okay.
So shout out
go.
to Abby for convincing me to get this stuff. He was telling me his secrets on how he stays rich, and he's like, I just buy everything from Temu. I'm like, oh, okay. And the minute I bought something from there, Peter, all I get is ads and prank calls.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Abby, what did you get me into, man?
Look, you don't even have to buy anything. I'm not sure why they're targeting me, but they really think I want all this crap because they keep advertising the hell out of me. So,
Yeah.
in any event, I just
Yes.
it's linked to us, Carlos. We're here forever, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens, anyways. Until
That's for sure.
until they're tariffed out of existence or something. But
Friends, we are all set. My gappers list right now is looking pretty good. Intel, SMCI, PLTR, and Tesla. So we're good there. And yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Brian and Andrew. I see Brian is in chat, so we're going to let him take over there so we can set up for our live trading here on YouTube. So YouTube friends, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does mean a lot to us there to get the channel up and running here. So, all right, as soon as Brian joins, we'll switch over to them, and then we'll get ready for live trading. All right, Peter, so I know your mornings, you've been pretty quiet in the mornings, like no real trades for you. But how about in the afternoons? Have you been just trading your regular stuff?
yeah, and I've been getting some opportunities. I had good trades on PLTR and Tesla yesterday, pretty much after we got off the microphone. So that was good. But yeah, I definitely want to try and increase my trading volume in the morning. There is opportunity out there, and I keep. Well, like even yesterday, you're like, "Hey, Peter, thanks for calling that out," and I'm like, "So what am I doing? Just sitting here? Take the damn trade. Take
Yeah.
the damn trade. How like I've got a sign, man. Just
Yeah.
follow the sign."
There you go. All right, friends, we're going to disconnect. I see Brian is on. Good morning, Brian. I'm going to disconnect from chat. We're going to continue right over on YouTube. So, all right, perfect. Let me just mute Brian on my ear. And all right, excellent, friends. All right, let's get all set up here. Let's go 5 minute and 1 minute charge for me.
Baby.
And let's get this all set up. Let me go ahead and take my pleather jacket off. So I'll leave you with Peter for just a second.
Carlos, have you? Oh, he's taking his jacket off. He can't hear me. We'll ask him when he gets back.
Right. I do gotta say though, Peter, they do got some cool stuff. Like if you run to their website, like okay, I'll pay $2, $3, $10 for this crap, and even if it doesn't work, I just want to see it and mess with it. So, I know Avi, he found a really nice bear and bull thing he has on his desk. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. So
I have not tried to search the random stuff, so I'll trust your judgment on that.
I'm telling you, as soon as I did that, the text messages come in saying all this randomness. I'm like, what did I just do here?
Yeah, what have I done, eh? Oh well,
Oh,
you're locked in now.
yes, yes. All
So
right,
have you ever worn leather
friends.
pants?
Never. But have you
Never,
seen
eh?
the? Oh man, we're getting right. So we got to get this one in quick. Have you seen the skit from Friends with the leather pants?
Sounds vaguely familiar, but no. I mean, I just know that
No,
people
no.
sweat to
You. This
death
is
in them.
something you would either know, or you don't know. I gotta send you this
Okay.
link, Peter. We're gonna do a whole segment on this after the market open. Have you wore leather pants? Though? I need to know.
I have not. No,
Okay. All
I'm
right.
never was never cool enough for that.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I gotta send you this Friends segment, man. It's the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life, and every time I watch it, I just start dying. But yeah, it's hilarious. Ross, yeah, Ross leather pants. Oh man, it's the best
Okay. All
thing.
right, guys. We're only like 15 seconds away from the market open here. I don't have any
Yes.
thing targeted for the open. I just don't know what to expect. American Airlines is making a little bit of a recovery run, maybe. I don't know. I don't have anything for the open, so we'll see what we get.
Yep.
Here's the
All
bell.
right. Here it goes. Leather conversation to the side, and let's focus in. All right. Uh, Tesla. All right, friends. As usual, I am waiting 3 minutes to into the market open before I take any trades, and then I'll be looking for some kind of breakout or a 5 minute ORB after minute 5. So we'll see what sets up and where the action is. Mad props, absolutely. He says he feels like if I had the leather jacket on during trading, I'll break all the rules. Yeah, that's a bad boy jacket. I'm a good soldier right now. Absolutely, don't want to be in that type of mode.
All right. I have to
Um,
admit, I'm trying to follow my own rules here. I tried.
okay,
I've taken Tesla short really quick off the open. I just took a
nice,
partial. Got about a
good,
dollar
good.
on that partial. Got in at 250.38, which is not quite the entry I was hoping for, but I just got
Mm-hmm.
said took a partial here, and I'm ready to jump out the second this like right here.
Yeah,
I'm hanging on just in case.
drop, baby, drop. Oh, stay with it, Peter. Stay with it.
I see. This is okay. I'm out.
Ah,
I'm out.
dang.
See,
All right.
I don't. That's why I don't like these open trades. They're just so. I'm not trading a trend. I'm just trading this.
Yeah, this 1 minute, yes, it's scalping. I tell new traders be careful with it, but you had a couple of partials there. So this is something where Andrew would be long right now on Tesla. This is
Yeah,
his
look at that.
engulfing
Woo, woo,
1 minute
woo.
pattern. Look at this go, baby! Wow, wow, wow. Anybody trading that
See,
one
that's
minute engulfing pattern on YouTube? That is a legit move up. But again, it requires
and it's funny.
such fast reaction. Yeah.
I know, and it's not the trade, but like that pop makes me. It's after the trade that makes me sweat because I'm thinking I was just short that. I mean, that would have killed
Yeah, yeah.
me if
Oh,
I
yeah. Of
traded
course,
in that.
of course. Just shows you
Yeah,
how important it is to be disciplined, right?
yeah.
It's follow the rules, follow the rules, make them a habit.
All right, Texas Instruments dropping here off the open.
Um, TXM, TXN, right? And yeah,
Hmm.
oh yeah. Look at this. All right, minute 3 just coming up here, friends. I don't see anything I like. Nvidia could be a possible short breaking down here, but I'm not. I don't like the placing from now and the VWAP at the moment, so don't like it there. BA, huh? BA could be a. Wish it had more volume. Um, but BA seems to be doing the move I like, right? The drop coming back to VWAP, and then on the short, this is where we hop in. Seems to be doing that, but the lack of volume makes it a little bit messy um, on BA here. So yeah, not quite sure on that one. How about POTR? Oh, PLTR. Look at this. Wow, PLTR put in a really nice move higher. This stock is so great. And I said it, I'm gonna watch PLTR, and I just started messing around watching something else. But this stock is so good. Anyone in RGTI? RGTI. Let's take a look. Nice. You got a lot of asks too, sitting at 950 now. Oh, look at that. 955. The asks just keep moving higher and higher, so it's pulling the price up. This wants to go. That is looking really nice. So POTR pushing. I'm sorry. That was Rigetti pushing. POTR is also pushing
Yeah.
as well. All right, let's hope things don't get too crazy here.
Not a lot of movement here. If I look at the market indices overall, the Qs and the SPY really sort of pretty flat. So not going anywhere fast.
Yeah. So Tesla kind of selling down a little bit, but pulling back here. Intel's looking good for a 5-minute ORB and an actual VWAP breakout. I just don't like how the price action is. It's so like spotty on this thing, man. But let's try. Let's give it a shot. I'm long Intel on here. 5-minute ORB. A little bit late on the 5-minute ORB. I could tell here just by I waited too long just thinking about how bad the stock could be. But here's the better entry on the 5-minute ORB. But I like it. It's got a couple of things that look good here for us. So the price action is just weird on this thing. So let's see if we can get a move higher, break the high of the day if we can here. Stop loss on this one. It doesn't move a lot, so I give it to 2094. So it's just right in this area. I could even give it lower if I want, but this stock is just interesting at times. So let's see where it goes. Long Intel, if we could get $22, that would be great. But I just think this stock doesn't move like that. Tesla or be long, excellent Ben. Are you in it? SPY's choppy. Yeah, SPY's not doing anything. So I'm looking for stocks that are kind of doing their own thing. Because things are pretty flat right now. Read the tape. Yeah, people love the tape, man. I'm not a tape reader. Just not what I do. But yeah, people love the tape. Paris is a great trader, right? So definitely check out his courses online. They're awesome. But yeah, it's not something I ever got into. Hassan, I'm trading Intel. Just Intel right now.
Just Intel.
Yeah. POTR would have been a nice one. I missed it. But POTR is going to do another great start of the day. We'll see how it looks later. But so far, great pop here above 102. Yeah, that is nice, man. Oh, it's just going. It's going. See what Intel does here.
PLTR. SMCI very choppy. The semis are all very choppy. Nvidia is ugly. I hope you get a pop out of the top side here.
Yeah, I'm hoping, but Intel is trading like Intel. Like it actually looks good today for what it normally does. You just got to be patient, and again, you got to give it room. But to get to your goal on this thing, like it doesn't move a lot, right? This is only my stop is 20 cents, 25 cents. So again, it's got to go a long way to get going. So, but we'll see. You are short IBM. Okay, beautiful. No, I'm actually not that aggressive with my stops. I actually give my stops a little bit of room compared to what other traders do. I'm aggressive with the partials. That is true, and That could be better. If there's something that's obviously weak on my trading, it's that one. It's the parceling. But again, we spoke about this before, guys. Right? I just do what works for me psychologically and mentally. It's important. So these are some nasty candles with no volume on Intel. Like, this is, what am I doing here? This is ugly. This is very ugly. It's like we're not even moving. Like, we're just down 10 cents, right? So it's like it doesn't even move. So yeah, I'm probably gonna jump out of this. PLTR. Why do I trade anything else? It's just why I posted this on Instagram. I mentioned I'm gonna be looking at PLTR. This is my style. This is my favorite one, and I trade this Intel garbage. Wow, guys, please tell me you took PLTR for me and Peter.
It is running and gunning here. You know what? I'm gonna put IBM over here just because somebody mentioned it. Oh yeah, it's dropping nicely.
Yeah. All right. So a few people took it in chat here. We're gonna get out on Intel. Intel's just garbage. Yeah, we'll hop out of it. I mean, it's just we're not even down much. Like, I misjudged how many shares to take here. Definitely took like too little for the type of move that this thing is making.
Whoa.
Something fell outside. Looks like it's windy. Something must have fell outside. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of it just because I want to focus on something else. But looking at I did look at the P&L. We can hold through 3 more hours of this easily and not skip a beat. Yeah, it's 15 cents. Like, I did not take what I was supposed to here at all. So yeah.
Just is what it is.
It's remember that time I traded Ford and I think I was on with you. We traded Ford a while back.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot I had a Ford position. And I look back and like, oh, it's only down $200, but it was down $200, but it had dropped like drastically. And I look over, it's like only $200 because it just barely don't move. So the candles made it seem like it was something aggressive. And we had to trade on something else that was way better. So it just kind of overshadowed. I got that feeling with Intel. This just doesn't move.
It does not generally. So, and especially going into earnings, it's a little tougher to get it to pick a direction and move. People are going to be waiting, I think, a little bit, see what they're after.
Tesla
hours.
Breakout, guys. What do you think, Peter? Tesla breakout? Got the pullback, push up. I don't. These high up days are scary, but yeah, it's pushing here. I just feel like it's, getting ready for something to get going. Apple long. Let's. Someone mentioned Apple long above the VWAP. Yeah. Yep. Could be. I'm not sure. Intel's just doing Intel stuff. SMCI is got a nice breakout there, guys, in SMCI. Beautiful thing. Someone mentioned Amazon. Yeah, there's some potentials here. We need to see that confirmation. How many times do I look at my P&L? Every day. Every day I look at my P&L.
Do you look at it while you're trading, or only when you're done?
I was waiting for that. That's the actual question, right? Do I look at P&L when I'm trading? So sometimes I do. But I don't have it. I have to pull it up. Like, I don't have it just up. But I do have to pull it up. But I've traded with the P&L, looking at it all the time, and like on certain days, and it doesn't affect me as much as it used to before. Like red trace don't bother me. I don't really make decisions on the red trace. Um, so yeah, it doesn't affect me mentally anymore as much as it did before. Obviously, if I take a big loss, it's the big loss hurt. They'll affect you no matter what. But
Right.
I don't trade the P&L. That's more the question you're asking, Hassan. I don't trade the P&L. Do sometimes you say, hey, I had a big move on this already. Like we had some a couple of times. I had a big move. What does it look like? I've taken a couple of parcels. I already kind of traded my plan. I will look over and see, okay, does it make sense for me to hold here for whatever is left? Right? And in
Right.
some cases it does, some cases it doesn't. You know, so yeah, that's a little bit different. I do that. Uh, but I think it's easy to trade without it because again, even though you don't want to, just minimize it. What happens is your mind is not. See, your mind is a beautiful thing, right? It can compute all these things without you even knowing it. This is how ads work, right? Ads work just like this. They're constantly in your face, and even though you're not thinking about it, there's something in there. I'm telling you, like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
When I used to DJ a lot, when I was, I used to get hungry. I'm like, man, I'm getting hungry in the set. So whatever I was gonna buy, I bought a Red Bull and I used to get a Snickers. Why a Snickers? Hungry by way, grab a Snickers. This thing is like programmed in your mind. So you go to 7-Eleven, like, oh man, I'm hungry. You know what? Let's grab a Snickers. So why did you grab a Snickers?
Yeah. You.
So it's, trust
Not
me,
you.
trust me. Yeah, they got me.
Not you when you're hungry. Yeah.
Exactly. So it works. You hear it over and over and over again. You start reacting to it. Um, let's see here. Yes, we're all programmed, no question. Listen, uh, SMCI, two tickers. This is unacceptable. Two tickers on my primary list: SMCI and POTR, literally front and center here, and I trade Intel.
PLTR though, what a move on PLTR.
What a
Just went
move,
through,
man!
kept
This
going.
is what a move! What a move!
Mm.
Mm. POTR, you better make me some like serious money from allowing me to lose attention and focus on what's
Wow,
really
Microsoft.
important.
Microsoft's had a strong move up off the open.
Oh,
Interesting.
yes. Look at this. Microsoft is pushing. What's the SPY doing? What's going on there? Market
Well, market's moving higher.
moving higher. Good. Markets are green. They were just kind of hanging out back and forth between the previous day close, but they're green. Long POTR, good, good. Yes, you guys are long POTR. That's awesome, man. This is what a move. What a move. Um, SMCI did move, not as clean as some other ones, but where is Pure? And they don't have news. Like, did you see any news, Pure? Like, I looked them up this morning. When I was doing my Instagram post, I want to see if there's any news. There was no big headlines on Bloomberg since like the 13th of this month. So there was nothing
Right.
really major.
No, nothing. Nothing I saw.
Yeah,
These days they don't seem to need it.
yeah. This stock, man, it's just the volume, the price action is just unreal. Earnings Monday, yes, Mati, but that usually doesn't move it as much as this unless you have some kind of news, right? This is news driven. I mean, things don't need to have a news catalyst to move, but it's just a 4.2 after a decent day yesterday. It just keeps on giving. Yep. People are mentioning Hood. Yeah, Hood looks a little bit like SMCI too. Nice move as well. Intel's doing nothing, so I'll sit here and wait.
Intel, yeah, it's
It just doesn't move, man. It's just
hanging out.
brutal. All right. It's gonna be one of those days where I just gotta wait for the setup. I don't see anything great that I like here. Hertz, I don't like Hertz, man. There's a ticker I don't trade is this stuff, man. Hertz could be so bad. They're doing good today, but it's so hard to read the price action. I mean, this was very light volume too, so I don't know how you would have read this and how you would have got into this move. It's gotten better now, but Hertz is a really
Yeah.
tough company. Pig Wrestler, you trade? Is that one of your companies to trade? Go ahead, Peter.
It is, and Hertz, like the volume didn't even really come in till about 9:41 here. If I look, let me look where that volume spike happened.
Yeah,
It's hard. Yeah, I agree with you, Carlos. I would have found it very tough to identify an
yeah, it's
entry.
kind of
Always
a
look,
bad trade.
sometimes these things look really good after the fact. I find
Right.
that's a skill you develop when you've been trading for a while. Is you're able to look at
Mm-hmm.
a chart and say, okay, it looks great now, but would I actually have been able to take it? And that's important
Right.
because when you start trading, you look at things after they're done, and you're like, oh man, what a move! Like all I had to do was enter here, and I would have been set for the day or the week or the month, right? But
Yeah.
realistically, could you have identified that? Because if you can't, then you might try and take that trade 10 more times and fail 10 times because you really don't know what you're looking for to be able to identify it. A lot of
Yeah.
charts can look fantastic afterwards when they're already done, but that's not the reality of trading, is it? You got to figure it out before it looks like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So true, man. So true. Um, is Amazon gonna have one of their breakouts where they just go insane, right? Like we've seen this many times where they just does nothing for the first hour, then you get this break or first half hour, then you get a beautiful breakout. So seen that plenty of times. Just like stocks waiting to see where's the direction gonna be for the day. Oklo higher, SMCI, Intel sideways. Uh,
I don't know. Everything
yeah,
seems to be like the markets look like they're moving up, but a lot of the stuff I'm watching is not, or it's stuff I don't
yeah.
want
It
to
was.
chase. I'm not
That's a
chasing
good point.
Microsoft up here.
Yeah. What's moving? Well, you got Google, you got Microsoft moving pretty hot right now. So these guys are probably moving the overall market there, the overall SPY really, because some of the stuff is not really moving well. What's
Hmm.
our good friend Melanie? Melanie. Every time I think of Microsoft, I think of Melanie, our good friend. She's always watching Microsoft. I haven't seen her in a while here in chat. Hopefully she's good. Um, AMD. AMD, good breakout above the VWAP. Now trying to break out from the high of the day, so that's good. How about Nvidia? We haven't looked at Nvidia today. Yeah, you got a lot of the Max Sevens pushing really good here. Um, and I picked this. You know what? Let me settle down. Settle down.
So, so
Settle
settle
down.
down, Carlos.
Yeah, settle down. Can't get a blockbuster trade every day, so this is our garbage trade for the week. Looks like. Um, watching paint dry. And
Yeah, I've
some,
got. I mean, I jumped out of the gate on that Tesla
yeah.
short, which, as I said, didn't really work, but I
Hmm.
didn't get harmed by it, so that's good. And now, yeah, nothing yet.
Yeah. As other things are going higher, Tesla is just pulling back down to the VWAP here. Sign of weakness while the market is going higher. Um, Intel, hey,
So
Intel's
P-
we're breaking even.
PLTR PLTR is about to retest the 105 high that it put in. This is a mountain pass type setup for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
early. It's early for it.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know whether to trust it or not because it's a lot earlier than I would normally take a reversal. But it's got had the good strong move at the open. It hit the high here, right? You can see even there was a increased volume right when it hit the high of day on a little sort of spike or shooting star type candle. Um, I mean, it looks good. The whole setup looks good. I just said, it's early, so I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure what to do with it, to be honest. It's let's see here. What is the level two? Level two doesn't really tell me anything. We got orders at 105, as you would expect. High of the
Hmm.
day is 105.19, so I've got a little room here to watch it and see what's going to happen when it hits those 105 orders. If it fails, it might be worth considering. I'd be looking at it short. Admittedly, it's been strong this morning, but I just, yeah, it's tough trade.
Phasing, let's do it. Short PLTR. Someone
It's
asked me
early.
earlier
It's
why.
early to go short on
Yeah,
it.
and someone asked me
Careful.
why I don't short reversals because I am very bad at them. All right, I am very very bad at them, so that's why I don't do it. Reversals are tough. This is why, out of all the reversals, I like yours, Peter, the Mountain Pass, because it has so
Hmm.
many criteria you got to check off, right, to make sure
Right.
that you have the best chance for it to work out. Nothing is going to be guaranteed, but I think you have the best chance for a reversal to work out. So I think I mentioned before, if you guys want to see that video, it's available in tradingterminal.com. So you can watch the Mountain Pass video for free. I think we did a YouTube one as well. So search on our Bearwood Traders channel, search Mountain Pass. I think we put up a description of it, some of the criteria that we do for that. Um, but it's looking good, Peter. It's early. We didn't
Yeah.
make a new high, so that's interesting. The time overall, though, for the market is early, 9:50, 9:55. That's a little bit early, but it's looking good. It's looking good.
I I did take a small position in it just in case it
Nice.
broke over the 105 that
Yeah.
I could rethink this. We'll see it. I'm getting a little bit of an early drop here.
Yeah. Getting a little bit of weakness. VWAP would be awesome on this thing, 103. 103 30-ish or so. SMCI going sideways. Intel up and down, up and down. We probably have to hold this to the end of the day to see where it ends. The way it's going. Tesla bouncing off the VWAP. Do we trust the bounce back to the high of the day? The 5 minute wants to tell you yes, but the 1 minute is pretty messy. But the 5 minute does have this kind of like a buying pressure coming in here. I
It's
like.
getting too much support here. I don't like this. I'm going to move my stop aggressively here to break even just so I don't get stuck if it moves higher. Um,
I think Tesla wants to bounce here. I think it wants to go. See a couple of asks sitting down there. Let's see what the next pullback shows us. All right, friends. Again, just one trade for me. I am up. A Happy Meal on Intel right now. So that's how much you could buy with what we made. We moved a couple of cents, and we'll see where it goes. Trying to break the high of the day here. This got to go to 22 to really make it worth even to have a par. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, 22 is exaggerating. That's being greedy. Like 22, 21.50, you can start taking something off. But let's see. This will
yeah,
be
so
watching paint dry.
yeah, I'm at a break even here on PLTR. Again,
Yeah.
it was sort of the right configuration, but it's early for a reversal move, so it makes me
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
confident in the trade because it doesn't really meet all my rules very well. So
Yeah.
I tried though. At least I tried.
Yeah. It looked decent for at least a quick drop to like at least 104, but yeah, it didn't happen. All right, let's get some questions as we wait, guys, as well. You can throw some questions. One of them I see here is: Do I do I use the 5 minute and the 1 minute for my setups? Yes, mostly 5 minute, 1 minute is what I look at. All right, so we got the 1 minute here, we got the 5 minute, and I got both of these right in front of me. So I'll see what's happening there, and then I have a 5 minute on the rest of the stuff that I'm watching to see if anything else is happening. So yeah, if I like what I see here, then I bring it over to my main list here, and then this is one that you're seeing that we're trading in. Intel. Peter, your screens. How many? I know you have a couple of monitors, but what's your um DAS setup? I don't think I ever asked you that. Like, how many charts are you looking at?
I pretty much max out DAS. I mean, I have sort of five screens that are all trading information, and then one screen that's all of the media and like our, our communication software and the stuff that we're using to talk to you guys right now. So,
Okay,
um,
okay. So is that all those
one
other
of the
five screens is charts or?
they're all charts. So I've basically have 12 stocks that two screens that are just six charts on each. Well, here let's see what we can do to show you guys what's going on here. So
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
here's my setup. So there's Carlos up over there. Whoa,
Is that me?
whoa, got to get the camera.
There it
Okay, we're
is.
gonna get
How you doing,
there he
guys?
is.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can hold this steady here. This screen up here, top middle, and then this one bottom right are just tracking stocks. Those are the ones that I watch over the course of the day. The different things. These tend to be pretty stagnant. Up here, I've got Amazon, Meta, Google, AMD, Nvidia, and Intel today. So, and then down here are the stuff that just moves during the day, right? So IBM, Texas Instruments, American Airlines, SMCI. I've got them all down here. These are my two main trading screens. These are the ones that I actually trade off of. These charts are all the same stock. So we've got a 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 5 minute, and a daily, and it shows me the different time frames. And of course, you can see the level 2 going on here and the time and sales, and then the same thing basically over here. So I can just watch what's happening. The white one up over here is the one that I normally share in the room. It's got my index tracking stocks, so the SPY, the Qs, Tesla, Apple, the things that I just watch all day. Microsoft, they just sit up here, and that's typically what I share in the chat room. So there you go. So
Nice.
that's my setup. That's what I look at.
All right. Sweet, man. Nice setup. Nice setup.
Yeah. It works for me. And by the people always ask, these are all 27-inch monitors. They're super like cheap and replaceable. They're under $200. They're just flat, low bevel, whatever, right? Like I've got two extra ones that sit in my basement. So if one fails, I just swap it out and put another one in. I don't go with the curved monitors or anything fancy. For me, it's
Yeah.
all about, I guess it's my old IT background, right? You always have redundancy and built-in backups. And I just,
Yeah.
if one goes, I don't even worry about it. I've had a couple of them fail over the years, and I literally just run downstairs, plug in another one. 5 minutes later, I'm up and running again. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's sweet, man. Sweet. Um, that's good. Another question is here now. Peter, show us your bookshelf. Pig Wrestler, hold on a second. We can't give everything away in one show, right? You got to come
bookshelf.
back next week. So next
All
week
right.
no, we just can't give everything out the window. No. Come back
I
next
don't
week.
know.
We'll
There's
show
just a
you
lot of
Peter's
random stuff
bookcase.
going on over there, but sure, we'll save that
Yeah.
as for next week's show
Yeah.
and tell.
Absolutely. All right, friends. We
Well,
are
we
getting a
have to do
little
it,
bit of.
Carlos.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If we're going to do a show, it has to be Monday to Wednesday though, because as of Wednesday night,
That's
I'm
right.
out.
You're out of here, man. Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. Um, yeah, absolutely. So we're getting a little bit of a run here, guys. Tesla, look at Tesla go. We talked about Tesla possibly breaking out, right? And I was close to taking it, but wasn't sure. But there it is. We're getting the breakout that we've been talking about, man. This market wants to go higher. Like even with all the tariff headwinds, this market wants to explode. I mean, people want to put their money back in here because this hasn't been no overly positive news, and look at the reaction we're getting here. American
Yeah.
Airlines earnings today, horrible. Pull their guidance. They're green, slightly, right? And they have a
Yep.
buy signal with a lot of the ratings. So some of these stuff is oversold. I keep going to American Airlines because I'm watching them closely because I have a position that I keep building with these guys long term. So I'm watching all the news and articles and everything just to stay up to date. And it's just I expected a bigger drop than this coming into earnings today, right? So, but no, stocks they want to go green. Peter, POTR, not the right setup, but the momentum seems a little weak here. but
Yeah, and
not the right.
interestingly, the original stop that I set never had been hit, right? Because it had to set a new high of day for it to hit my
Yeah,
stop. So I said I did get it at break even. I now that I'm looking, I should have got back in as it did that spike higher, and then
yeah, yep,
but I did not take that opportunity to get in. I should have,
yep.
but yeah, it's generally follow the rules. Set early in the day. Not a great setup, which means I don't think we're going to get a super strong, pullback type move. But
Yep, yep. Um, Question: have I taken any parts of the INTC? No, I haven't. I misjudged how many shares I took here. I took 500. Might sound like a lot, but once you start looking at how much this moves, these are like 10 cents moves, right? So it's not. Um, I should have taken more shares. If I were taking a proper size here, I didn't realize how small these moves are. I would have taken more, and then I would have definitely partial now here because we're up, even 10 cents, 20 cents is worth it. But for the amount of shares I took on this thing, we're going to let it ride, right? Because it's just, let's try to make it worth our while on this one. So let's see where it goes. Let's see if it pushes higher. I'm gonna be trying to be patient to maybe 2150. That'll be awesome. Because again, we gotta be realistic too, right? We're not gonna get, if we get 22 out of this, I'll take tomorrow off. But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That'll be a stretch. We're moving. We're moving. The strength of this market is just awesome. You should try out Kyle's hotkeys. Yeah, I try them. I try them before. Trust me. I prefer to be more in control of how much I take. So with that, you're kind of somewhat set into a specific risk. And in some case, I want to risk more. Some case, I want to risk less. And then if you start doing that, then you got to have all these hotkeys. And I keep my hotkeys very simple. It's just like 3 of them, short and long, right? So I'd rather do that. But yeah, for new traders, Kyle's hotkeys are amazing. They're a must-have. And to figure out which way you're going to go as far as how much you're going to risk and do that, right? So you definitely got to do that. Yeah, but Progressive, I don't really make my stop bigger or shorter, right? So I get what you're saying. You kind of play with it a little bit. But my stop's always going to be the same. But if I'm more the same spot, right? It's going to be the same spot. Like, for example, my stop here, let's say right below VWAP, it's always going to be the same spot. What I want to increase is the risk, not the stop, right? The stop will be the same. But if I'm confident about the move, I might increase the size. If I'm not, take a little bit less. So yeah.
I should come back. What we were looking for economic data. We did have some 10 a.m. economic data that came out on home sales.
Okay.
Home
Yep.
sales down. Existing home sales down 5.9%, and 4.02 million versus an estimated 4.412 million. So relatively low home sales, which is interesting because we actually saw new home builds and permits and stuff that came out the other day, and that was higher than estimate. But this one was lower than estimate, and in fact, it's the lowest number it's been since. Looks like wow. When was it ever this low? Whoa, we got to go all the way back to December 2022. So there you go. That's been a couple of years since home sales have contracted this much.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I get it. You may not want to, with the uncertainty. Usually, people don't want to make big purchases when there's a little more uncertainty. You don't get much bigger than your primary residence normally. So,
Yeah. Tesla here. I'm sorry, INTC. I might be forced to take a partial just to put something in the bank. So Kyle's hotkey, they are in our education center, I believe, or in downloads. I'm checking for you right now, actually, because they're really, really good. Yeah, they're in downloads. So you do have to be, I believe, a member to access this area. So if you take a look here, if you go over to, let me get you a better shot at that. But if you go over to downloads, right over here, once you enter, you're gonna see right on here's gonna be a bunch of hotkeys. But here's Kyle. I just saw it. Where is it? I think
Temu.
it's this. I think it's one of these. It's in here.
Curse you, Temu.
What's up with Temu? They're
Just they're advertising the heck out of me always. Yeah, well, because I went to look up the home sales, and of course, in looking that up, it gives them an opportunity to give me some more ads. So again, you ever notice? Anyways, here mini rant here, but you always get these things about these tool sets. They always bother me because they're like 151 piece tool set is what Temu was just advertising. And I mean, I think most of us, if you own a home, you've got one or two or many of these tool sets sitting around your house. And the reality is, of the 151 pieces, there's probably 5 that you use all the time, and the other 146 you never touch. They just fall out of the little plastic container thing, and you got to reassemble it every time you try and open or close the case. So, pet peeve.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Know what you mean. Oh. Let's see, friends. Intel coming back. See if we can get something out of this. Tesla. Look at Tesla go. Wow, I missed some really good moves today. I really did. I hope you guys caught some of this stuff, but there were some really, really nice moves. Tesla to the moon here, man. It's just wants to keep going. Amazon, here's the breakout, trying to hold the moving averages. SMCI back up. And what else do we have on our list? We had what did JD end up doing? JD, nothing.
There you go. Well,
TXN.
So maybe I'm sort of happy that I didn't re-enter PLTR. It never broke lower. It did set a new high of day. So
Yeah.
Not quite ready. I'm getting cold in here. Get a sweatshirt. It's like, I don't know if you can tell. It's like super dark in here. It's like, seems like it's very cloudy and
Yeah.
rainy out there.
Yeah. You can't really tell. Because you got your lights on, but you're probably in front of the monitor, so you can't really tell.
Yeah. Nvidia just double topped here.
Nvidia. Yeah, Spice giving us a little bit of slight sell down, not maybe a pullback, slight pullback here, not a sell down. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Unless we lose to 20 and start doing something here.
It's early again for my reversals, so I got to be careful on it. But
POTR was for me, and I say the trade of the day because the trade of the day could be different for everybody, right? POTR might not be the trade of the day if it's not your strategy or pattern. But for me, POTR was the trade of the day because this setup here on the 1 minute is usually what I like to take, right? So this would have been a real nice one. Like I see myself jumping in on that trade in POTR. And SMCI, not really, but this actually moved pretty well here. That's a 5 minute. Not much as a breakout trade, but as a 5 minute was pretty nice too. So it's a lot of opportunities out there. I chose INTC with a messed up share size. Nvidia seems too wiki for trade today, but it might. But we've seen Nvidia do this so many times, right? So we just gotta wait, guys. 10, 13, plenty of time still for the market to give us an opportunity. But they do this. They're actually not that bad. Now that I pull it up here, I thought it was gonna be worse. I as far as how wicked it is. I do see some of that here and definitely here, of course. But this is not that bad, though, actually. This is not that bad. And again, just because we've seen worse. We've seen like really, really bad starts to NVIDIA. CEP. Cantor Equity Partners. CEP is rocking up 72%. These stocks are so, like, how do you jump in here right now? Like, how do you have the the guts to just go long here? Like, who's doing this? Who's buying this right here? I mean, you are you. You are you. I mean, you're.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like the minute if I were to take an order right here, this thing would drop to 27. That's what it feels like to me. Like, if I hit that button right there, this thing would drop to 27. And in some cases it doesn't, right? Because it didn't do it here at 24, didn't do it here at 26, right? It went higher and higher. So it's just don't know. The madness. Yeah, if I put on the leather jacket, I definitely would go long on this thing, but that's why we took it off before the market opened. That's why we took off the leather jacket. We don't want that type of madness in our trading. Intel back to break even. Gonna hold this to the end of the day. Buy myself a Chick-fil-A meal. Buy what we could afford on this thing. IonQ. Let's see here. No, not really anything happening. IonQ is pretty quiet right now. Actually, no, hold on. I was looking at the wrong charts. This is actually very nice day today on IonQ. I was looking at something else. QBTS. Same thing. QBTS. UBT is the other one. Yeah, nice day for quantum today, guys. Rigetti, same thing. Good day there as well. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. SMCI, Intel, Tesla. My goodness. Tesla, guys. This is just beautiful to see. I'm not in it, obviously, but this is just so nice to see Tesla. The way it's been trading the last couple of days. Look at the daily here. The daily, where is it? Here we go. Daily's just breaking out here just beautifully, guys. Going to 260 looks like. So wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. Analysts got to be having a hard time. If you're an analyst, you got to be having a really tough time understanding these markets, right? Because you try to make sense of it. Like we're just traders. We don't care. We don't try to make sense of it. We just enjoy it, trade it, and move on. But if you're an analyst trying to make sense of what's happening, it's just some stuff makes no sense. Given the catalyst, the tariffs, and everything else going on, these markets don't care, really don't. So. Because it was not. For Tesla, it was not about the earnings, right? Tesla was about them, Elon getting back on board, right? Getting back in the driver's seat of the Tesla company here. So, and that's what he kind of led investors to on his call. So that's what they want to see. What is he going to do different that he's not doing now? Probably nothing, but investors want to hear that. They want to pull them away from the politics and get them back into Tesla, which is so symbolic because, again, like, what is he going to do? Invent something new? What is he going to do? He's going to help the workers work fat, so. But all you need is to get the idea out there that he's doing something and it's good to go. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Elon. I think he's a smart dude. All these guys, I always mention it, like Mark Zuckerberg, these guys, no matter what they go through, they'll figure out a way to get these companies back up, right? We see them do it over and over again, many times. So yeah, Tesla's enjoying that headline, at least for right now. China is killing Tesla. their competition is good. Competition is good for us, the consumer, and for companies too, right? So China's putting the pressure. Tesla's got to keep up. They got to keep up. They got to match that energy, right? They've been the only EV vehicle that was actually worth buying for a long time. I mean, guys, how long Tesla's been out? They've been doing this for years before anybody was even close to bringing out a car that I want to even, be found driving. Like, I don't want to be found dead in a Prius, car. The first ones that came out were horrible. The new ones they look like spaceships. They look awesome. But the first ones that came out, I saw those things on the road. I'm like, who gave this to you? Like somebody gave it away to you. Right? It's like somebody just had it on special and they just gave it to you because why would you get this car? But people love them. People love them. And if you have a car, it's okay. If you have that car, still love you and appreciate you being here live with us. So no disrespect, but man, those things did not look right at all. Did not look right. All right, let's see what else. Tesla to the moon, Intel to the bottom at the break-even point. We want 22 if we can get it on this thing. PLTR higher, SMCI. I mean, Intel takeover rumors reported by Insider Monkey. Okay, let's see. Intel's been having so many things happening to them, or talks of purchase and this and that. Nothing really has taken effect. So, Nvidia's gonna go here, guys. Look at this. Nvidia pushing higher. How about Meta? We haven't spoken about Meta in a long time. Meta. Let's take a look. Our good buddy Meta. Okay, just moving with the overall market here as well. So nothing special there. PDH, what is that? Ratrix Trays, PDH. Oh, I'm sorry. To previous day high. Gotcha. Never heard that terminology. I was about to pull up the ticker and see what is this. Okay. Gotcha, my friend. Previous day high, PDH. Ooh, look. Yes, look at that. Halted. CEP. Man, oh man. Halted at 31.49. No, that's it. Previous day high. I never actually said PDH, but that's the right call. Previous day high. That's what we'll call it. So you got it right. It's just never heard the initials. PDH. So.
Yeah, there's like 100 terms for it, right? I mean, the DAS tool calls it PCL, previous close.
Oh no, this is the previous day high.
Oh, previous day high. I'm sorry.
Have you heard PDH though? I never heard that term. I never heard it.
Not because I was mistaken for the close. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's been out there. Previous day high, previous day low.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make an acronym out of anything if you really want to.
Oh, you really can. Yeah. Yep.
I've just been busy watching PLTR here. It's I don't know what it's doing now. It's just slowly moving higher. It looks like so. It's not done yet. Market's moving higher.
Let's go, American Airlines. Push up, baby.
American Airlines. That's a hard one, Carlos. That's.
No. I'm not for day trading. I'm not for day trade. I'm just.
I know you got a longer term position.
I am pushing it for other reasons. Good stuff. PTR is going to go to 106.
Moved higher. It's got some volume up to 106.
We have any data? Any other data, Peter, that came out here today? Recently? Do we have anything?
Well, we had the 10 a.m. Home sales numbers that came out.
Yeah,
other than that, we have this Atlanta GDP Now number that's going to come out at 1, but that's later this afternoon. Really nothing else. No.
Nothing else since 10. Okay. Home sales number is depressing. I just don't think that's what's going to drive this market, right? Up or down.
Let's
It's
see. Do
all
we
it's
have
all
any
tariff.
market news?
All tariff. But you're right, it's not good. Everything I have has gone green. Green, green, green. Yeah, TD. This is on a run. This is on a serious bull run. Like reversals, got to be careful right now because these things are just they're pulling back and they're gunning higher. So just be careful, you know. But this is good. Like the higher they go, the higher likelihood that you are going to get some kind of pullback or correction, intraday correction today. So we'll see something. And we're coming up on that time, 10:30, which usually we start seeing a couple of more reversals happening. So we're coming up on that time. We'll see where it goes. And I'm going to hold my
Interesting.
INTC trade until we can get it 2150. Hopefully that happens. Long term.
There's a lot of quotes coming out from Waller, who's one of the Fed heads. I didn't have him on my list as speaking today, but apparently he must be speaking somewhere.
Okay.
Because just seeing a bunch of trying to see if there's any market news, maybe some tariff news or something out there. It's pushing this market higher. But interesting. But these quotes from Waller are just saying that the impacts from the tariffs are not likely to be seen until July in the marketplace. So it does also say that tariffs could push up unemployment quickly. Blah, blah, blah. Demand slowdown from tariffs would offset some of the inflation impact. So a little bit of a mixed message there, but I think he's basically trying to say, yes, there's going to be an impact, but the net impact could be that they, if inflation is lowered, they think by demand slowdown. I get that. Basically, the economy would slow, therefore they wouldn't have to raise rates, which generally, as we've learned, right? I mean, look what happened during the pandemic. The stock market does not care if the economy slows. I mean, the economy largely stopped during the pandemic, and look what the stock market did, right? After the initial panic sort of eased off, we went to all-time highs. So we'll see what happens here, but those comments could do a lot to actually help this market regain some of what it's lost over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
For now, just watch and wait and see what's going on. Apple looks like it's sort of topped here, and just sitting Apple for the moment. Tesla also.
Yep. It's
not finding a trade yet, but
Amazon going up.
Amazon is just looking at that.
JC Trader is asking, Mountain Pass on Google. I don't know. Let's take a look. Peter, what's your thoughts on this? Mountain Pass on GOO. GO is probably better. Let's take a look.
No, it's no, it's too shallow. It's too early, and you'd have to look at it on a 5-minute chart for it to sort of give me the visual pattern I need. On the 5-minute chart, it looks decent, but I don't like. Not enough exhausting volume here at the high, so it needs a little more. Needs a little more for me. See what you're looking at. I get the pattern, but not enough.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Apple. Apple just spiked to a new high. All right. See, we're maybe not done going higher yet in this market.
Apple. Yeah. This market is it's nice. We're putting in a really nice day today. So far, nice morning. I mean,
Yep.
this thing could change in a matter of seconds here, but so far we are putting a nice day in here. So definitely requiring me to wait for a setup. I don't see anything great. Intel is not doing anything still, but we'll see. I don't have on a lot of these breakouts, and this is I mentioned this before. I don't have a strategy for these type of breakouts play. I really don't. So like to join this here, I don't know how to do that. The only time I do it, if you guys notice, is when I'm close to the VWAP and the stock, let's say, it's been down, right? Say it's been down here, and the rally starts, and once it gets to VWAP, I tend to find better opportunities. But here, I don't see that in a lot of places. So it's hard to me to join here. It's hard to even join on a high day breakout. Just don't have the confidence there to take those trades, which is fine. You know, trade what works for you, but man, it'd be nice to be in any of these trades right now. It'd be nice. SMCI. Like NVIDIA right now. NVIDIA looks like it wants to break the high of the day. You're getting a little volume here. Good volatility. Let's see if it can break. Yes, CFC. For me, and I could be completely wrong. Like I could be wrong about this, but it feels like a pure chase. Yes, that's how I feel. Like if I get in here, I'm chasing the crap out of this. And you know, if you look at this, if you got in here, it might feel like a chase, and it still worked out pretty good. If you got in here, right, feels like a chase, but you still got almost $1, right? So it's a strategy that I don't know how to trade in this area. It's a tough one. Eamon has a really good breakout strategy. Yeah, we'll have to look at stuff. We got so many strategies, guys. We got like 29 now. Can't keep up with all of them, but there's so many strategies. I guarantee you there's one there for you. So if you guys are interested, there's one there for you, no question. Tesla did pull back pretty good here. Intel trying to stay above whatever this level is, 21.15. What is the pre-market high? Yeah, it's might just be small day for me here with Intel, but that's okay. It's okay. So far, we've been having a great week, guys. We've been seeing so many great moves and opportunities, so we cannot be upset. And hopefully a lot of you guys, do you guys take anything? I mean, I'm doing all the rambling over here. You guys take anything? Like, what are you in right now? Share your trades, because I'm not in anything at the moment, so we'd love to hear what you guys are doing. Do you think Tesla leads the QQQ or lags or in sync? Well, it's not leading it right now, I'll tell you that much. Tesla's not leading the Qs right now. It's the other ones. It's the other big boys, like this one right here. Microsoft, NVIDIA. I mean, look at the ones that are moving this bad boy. NVIDIA, look at Microsoft, it's a big one. Google, that's what's moving the overall market right now. Tesla is actually it's helping it. It's up 2.1, but it's not the big boy today, right? You got too many up here that are pushing the weight. Meta, I mean, look at Meta. Look at this thing, how beautiful Meta is today. Yeah, so Tesla's in the back seat. the big boys are driving the car this morning. So. yeah, you're no Tesla. What's Tesla? We got Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA.
Tesla's.
Have you seen Kobe Bryant? I forgot Kobe Bryant was injured. And he's come. It's a very popular clip, and he comes to the bench, and all the players are sitting in the bench, and there's no seat for him. And he comes towards the end of the bench, doesn't find a seat, and what he does, he points at the rookie. He tells him get up and sit in the back in the end of the row, like in a different row in the back end. And they all shift over and they make space for Kobe. He's not even playing; he's injured. That's what happened to Tesla today, right? Microsoft, Meta came in and Google and Microsoft looked at, yeah, you Tesla, get up and sit in the back end. Big boys are
Right.
driving the truck today. So yeah, you gonna say something, Peter?
No.
I thought you did. I thought you started to mention something here, but
No. Well, if I did, I've forgotten. Just, I think I
uh,
was just saying that maybe I was saying that Tesla's one of the big boys. It's just sometimes there's yeah
yeah,
it's got to know when to step aside, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, compared to what is it, 5,000, 7,000 tickers, the number's probably higher now. I feel like we got so many companies. Yeah, they're part of that elite group. But man, look at do something, Intel. Do something.
Mm.
Do something. Nvidia, Tesla trying to push higher now. Double tap QQQ. Oh, yeah, careful. Just be careful, man. I this is not a reversal type market right now. Yeah,
No,
this
I
is it's
like
too strong.
I'm watching Nvidia right now, and I was just looking at thinking is it looked sort of
Mhm.
like a reversal 30 seconds ago. Right now, if you look at what it's doing, it's starting to push higher. 30 seconds ago, it actually looked like it was, potentially about to drop. But then I looked at the level two and I saw a bunch of orders sitting up at 105.50 and above, right? And nothing on the bid side. So I'm like, it's hard to tell right now. What is it looking to do, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, got to be careful. That's why I stick to my strategies.
yeah, yeah. How do I take partials? The best way to do it is to come see us live here. I know we don't trade a lot, so it's a little bit more difficult, but I should make a video of all the stuff we take in live and just kind of cut them off so you can see how we take partials. Easy to explain. But I basically play price action, right? This is not typical me trading. I took a very
Howdy,
small size.
howdy.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Andrew,
Andrew,
hello.
what are you doing trading CEP, man? You woke up risky today, huh?
I was just taking a small size. I
Ah,
think I
okay,
made,
okay, good, good. I'm like,
yeah, I
no, no,
made
no, no,
five
don't.
dollars on it. So yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
wanted to know if it's shortable or not. So
You wanted to
yeah, I
feel
just
alive
put
for
it
a
in.
little bit, huh?
I know exactly. Yeah,
Now I'm glad to hear that because, yeah, yeah, that's oof, risky, risky.
I just
Um,
wanted to be part of this history.
good, good. All right, friends. We'll keep here
Great.
in chat. We'll keep chatting with you guys. We're gonna leave Brian and Andrew take
Put
over,
it in
and
the chat, please.
oh
Link it in the chat.
yes, 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 chat. Sound. Send it over, and yeah, we'll leave it with you guys.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Oh, CEP, wow, that was a hell of a drop. Wow. This is why it's dangerous to trade these stocks. SPY seems
Um,
to is so overextended now. It's like, wow. CEP is some kind of a what is it? Cantor Equity Partners. I think it's got about a 10 million float. And other than that, that's all we know. But it's been definitely been in play this morning. It's had one halt, two halts, and this is the third halt. But this is a halt you don't want to be stuck in. because this was a halt when people were selling. So definitely a big drop there.
Oh, yeah, CP's got it
Good
halted on the
morning,
way
everyone.
down.
Yeah,
Bill traded NVIDIA options. Very nice. Option calls, $500 profit. Beautiful.
yeah, nice. I traded PLTR. Um, got into it a little bit late after the breakout, but I could tell it was just going to keep going.
So, guys on YouTube, I didn't take any trade today. I came a little bit late, unfortunately, and by the time that I came, all the move on PLTR has been started. Tesla did a nice run, but again, unfortunately, I didn't any nice trade on it. I just shorted the CLP a little bit. I made only $6, $5.85. So, which is not bad. Get a coffee.
SMCI. I know that was on Carlos's list to watch. Chipotle had earnings last night. Not really, didn't really change much.
So that's the whole purpose of Jeremy. That's the whole purpose of the funded account. That is, you're blowing up on the funded account, so you're actually not blowing up in your main account. So you should be very happy because how much you lost really, but you get an amazing experience on that. That's the whole purpose of the funded account, and that's what I want everybody to go through this funded account first, multiple times. And if you see all of these blow up, see all of these psychological challenges, and then make a decision if you really want to trade live or not. I want to save you from yourself by this funded account that we have, which I think is one of the most successful educational program that we launched, really. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want really you guys go through the funded accounts, blew up a couple of times. Like I blew up my account. I blew up my account multiple times recently. 2 weeks ago, horrible, horrible. Um, so
SMCI, I'm mentioning it in this room. It's been difficult trader this morning. It's pretty choppy.
right, let's
Well,
see what
Apple
the
just had a
CP
pretty
is doing.
significant pullback. See what the SPY and Qs are going to do now. We're pretty extended. The Qs are right at yesterday's high, so getting a bit of a rollover in on
See
some
the
of the
high.
markets right now. Probably
Oh,
just
nice.
markets have been strong, so I wouldn't go aggressively shorting anything here.
TR bounce back. Tesla bounce back.
I wonder if Tesla might find some support here. If not, it's going to come back to the VWAP. maybe 254.
Nice. All right, so
Have a
market
drop
is
there.
dropping a bit. Some volume on the SPY. I don't know if it's a news volume or it's just a normal drop. Time is it
Just
10:43?
after this big run up, could be just some profit taking.
It's crazy. Like that volatility is crazy, guys. Be careful in either direction.
Wow, Apple really tanked here. Surprising.
So what did President say? Boeing should default China for not taking the beautiful finished plane. The president is making a tough stand on China. Why do we pay for the Lambo? Thanks, Samir. Yeah, I see he's really losing it.
Somebody was asking what kind of person should do peak capital boot camp versus just describing and doing a funded account.
I think the bootcamp is about helping you build a trade book. If you think you have a couple of systems that you can trade based on that, and you don't need to practice sticking to that, then you don't need the bootcamp. But if you think that you don't really have system, you're just trading based on gut feeling or some random information that you have in mind or following other people without really knowing a system for trading, then the bootcamp is for you. Because in the bootcamp, what we do is we help you build the system. We build a journaling tool, a trading terminal, which we own to help you forward test that system. And then based on that, experiment that system in a funded account under pressure to see if you actually can perform that. So it's the whole ecosystem of how you actually can build the system, forward test the system, journal the system, and make money out of that system. Yeah, or John is putting it in a very different way. If your account is growing and you know why it's growing, then you don't need a bootcamp. But if your account is shrinking, then you probably can use a bootcamp. That's also a very good point. And also, you're getting exposed to different live trading systems. So I know you can do live trading with Carlos and Peter on YouTube, Brian and I, momentum trading at the open, and then Avi and Thor and Megan and John and Mike, in a Zoom environment, in a different system you can see every day. So you get exposure to more how senior traders trade. And I consider ourselves more experienced traders, but we are not necessarily the best traders or even better than you. Like I'm a very good trader until I blow up my account at TNA or TQ and stuff. So I would consider everyone in the bootcamp as more experienced traders. So we've gone through some phases that you may not have yet. John is a really good consistent trader, but also John is, exposed to one bad trade. He could be the worst trader in the community. Like it's just the nature of the trading is nothing is guaranteed. So working with a more group of experienced traders is more, working like a personal trainer. So how does a personal trainer motivate you, help you, supports you? But he may not be the fittest person on the planet, but it's someone that makes you accountable. But they're generally, in better shape than you. Although it's not, like, for example, a lot of these soccer coaches or football coaches are all fat and out of shape people, but they're still coaching Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi and everything. So that's also
Yeah,
interesting.
it's funny. Mm.
Oh, he's coming back up. Excellent, Aggie. That's a really good intention that you're having for the bootcamp. So Vinay BBT, I think the commitment is definitely availability for the market hours. So getting the live trading in, and then most of the sessions are in the afternoon for a couple of hours, and then you have a small amount of private mentorship during these 3 months that you can set it with your own captain. And that's it. I mean, a couple of hours per day, and if you miss it, there's recordings are available, but it's best to consume it as much as possible. Couple of hours a day, maybe 2 hours for the trading at the open, or 1 hour at the open, and 1 hour in the afternoon, 2 hours.
All right, let's see what the SPY does here. Gonna hold or pull back a bit more. I've kind of already done a bit of a pullback here.
SPY did a pullback.
Just flirting around these moving averages. How long is the boot camp? I think it's about, is it 8 weeks?
It's 3 months. No, it's, I think, about 12 weeks.
Yeah. How much is it?
2,999. That includes the membership and a funded account for 3 months and a simulator.
Yeah,
So
Tesla's
Tesla is putting
kind
back.
of rolling over
PLR
here.
is putting
Yeah,
back.
it's coming down to the VWAP and NVIDIA.
I'm at 191. Funny, IWM over the last 5 years really didn't return anything. Just really, in the 5 years, IWM return would be only 55%.
So SPY is just hanging in there. And maybe we go back up again.
So for the mentors at the boot camp, I think we randomly selected. But if you really want to work with someone, then yeah, you can. Then definitely you can reach out and say, hey, we can, for example, I want to work specifically with John, Mike, Carlos, Lenny, or someone specific. SPY is going back up to the high. Avi traded SPY to the long side. 10 o'clock. Got it stopped out from $3 all the way up to $4. Nice. Very nice trading. Today is Thursday. So Thursday is the mentorship days. Guys, today is the mentorship day. So what we're going to have today is Thursday 24. At 11, Lenny is having the mentorship. And 12 options trading with Jarrett. At 5 p.m., we have the trading terminal free webinar with the Amen breakout trading. So if you go to this page, you're going to see the updated
SPY just broke out there, back out after that pullback.
what happened in Turkey, Zach? What's happening in Turkey? An earthquake? SPY is back to the half today. Yeah, today, guys. This is my position for today, guys. I made $5.85 on CEP. And yeah, I only have TQQ and VO position. So I've sold some covered calls on VO at 520. So sitting here, I'll see what's going to happen. So just the coffee, $5.85.
That's better than it's better than a red day. Any green day is
That's for
better than a
sure.
red day.
Yeah, it's just I started like 20 minutes late, and a lot of moves has already happened, and I wasn't 100% sure. I wanted to take Tesla and Nvidia long, but I just said, I don't know, maybe I'm just pushing it, so it's okay. We can survive. Um,
Yeah. So here we go. SPY is, I think we're kind of getting into a bit of a chop fest now. Not much happening. Tesla's, let's take a look here. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a step down on Nvidia. Tesla's just still trying to hold the VWAP here, hold above it.
Yes, Tesla's.
Still holding a little PLTR in my swing trade account. But yeah, that was another nice mover today.
$5.85 per day. That counts. Every dollar counts. Yeah. No, I don't trade options. I mostly trade equities and leverage products, and I hold some VO position, and I sold some covered calls to make some money on that. So this position at 520, if it doesn't hit, I make $39,000 on it, and if it hits, then my position gets signed, and I just take that $40,000 plus the profit of profit that I have on the account. So covered calls are good when you have a position, and then you sell it, and then you make money out of it, even though you still have the position, because it doesn't cost you any buying power. The downside is if you sell the covered calls too close, and then the market hits that and then passes that, then you're missing out on the profit on that. So what you can do is you can roll over it to the another month or so. I think I sold for 2 weeks. I made $40,000 for the covered call. If in 2 weeks the VO doesn't go 5% higher, then I collect that $40,000 as part of providing that option, which is pretty good. But again, if the SPY moves up 10% in 2 weeks, which is very possible with one tweet of the president, then I make only half of that move, and then I miss the other half. I took the chance. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And you can roll you don't necessarily have to get called away, have your shares taken away. You can roll them up or cover them.
With the loss, yeah, with some loss.
Because some of the value in the options is in the time value. So as you get closer to the expiry date, that value erodes away. So if you're interested in options, I do have an options book on Amazon. You want to check that out. It's called How to Trade Options. We talk about covered calls amongst a lot of other things.
Let me actually send the link here for everybody. Yeah, it's a very small book, very nice, easy to read. I can put the link here for the folks. So the meetings is actually how many people actually make money in the funded account. Unfortunately, it's not very much. Like our funded account is about 70% people are losing and blowing up. About 30% are making money, which unfortunately is the stat that I don't think can significantly change. I don't think we ever reach to a point that you make 90% of your people in the funded account makes money, because you can't just stop people from not doing stupid things. Unfortunately, that's the number. We have some obviously outliers and make a really significant amount of money, but a lot of people, like in the 3 months, are making a couple of $1,000s, which is very reasonable. Like I paid a lot of $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. We had only like 2 or 3 people make extreme money on that. So Daniel NG, yes, obviously the trading at the open is very important. You need to be able to trade at the open. So if you can't trade at the open, like if you're in Asia, for example, Singapore, what is it, like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.? Then really the US stock market is not the point for you to learn, even through the boot camp or simulator, but you need to be able to do that. And then there are sessions in the afternoon of our time, in the evening of time, usually 7 p.m. Eastern time, which would be for you probably early morning in Singapore, like 6, 7 a.m. Then you need to be available on that. If not, the recording is available. So, but the most important part before joining any program is, can you actually trade? Imagine you know how to trade. Do you have time to trade the US stock market during the open? Because most of the volatility is at the open. I know, some people like Peter trades only in the afternoon, but I really never understood why and how. No, Ben, it doesn't need to be every day, but it needs to be actively trading. So it's not like you come and find one thing like CEP trade, $10,000 and then go away in 3 months. And, it's not like it because, and it shouldn't be. And the status of the new book is almost ready. I haven't got a chance to finish the final touch to publication, but it's very, very, very close. So we'll see how it goes, but it's going to come soon. All right, guys, I got to go. Thank you so much. If you have any question about the bootcamp or Funder account, just email me.
Yep.
The market seems that is still making new highs. And yeah.
Yep.
And see you guys tomorrow. And then
Still moving.
I'll trade from China too, because my meeting with the chairman Xi is on Monday. And after that, I'm free. They're going to come trade the volatility. So, yeah. Cheers,
Sweet.
guys.
Cheers, everybody. Hope you had a good day.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Brian and Andrew. All right, guys, we're going to disconnect in chat, and Eamon is going to continue right here on YouTube, and our good buddy Thor over in our chat room. Eamon, how you doing?
Hey, YouTube. I'm doing good. Hello, Carlos. How's the day?
Good, man. They still going. I'm still in Intel. I'm going to hold this to the end of the day. I'm up like $20. I took the wrong share sizing on this thing, and this thing barely moves, man. It doesn't move. So yeah, I didn't realize how little the price the price is on this stock. Like 20 cents, you barely get it. So I'm in it just for fun. We'll see. If I get 22 on this, I'll be happy. But other than that, basically no trades for me today, man. Not like the last couple of days, but there were so many good opportunities I just didn't take advantage of here. So, like for example, you got Intel up. You could see that it looks good in the charts, but once you look over and you see how much it is, it's like a 10 cents move. Like, okay, what?
No, I can understand that. It doesn't move a lot. It gapped up a
It
lot.
doesn't move.
And
This is the reason why
that.
I don't trade this stock, right? Because I took 500 shares, which is nothing when you're getting 10 cents to 20 cents. It's nothing, right? So I'd rather trade other stuff. But either way, I'm in it for fun, and I'm just here hanging out with you guys. So let's see what you did.
Well, for me, it actually was a good day. I did trade PLTR, one of the good trades, classic Andrew style 1 minute opening range breakout, combined with my style of multiple time frame analysis. This trade was actually called by one of our members and one of my mentees, Moritz. So thanks to him, I was not watching this stock. And that's the power of community, by the way, and the power of hanging around so many traders. You have a lot of eyes on the market. Sometimes you're watching something else. For example, I was watching today IWM and CVX, and I'll explain to you why I was watching these two stocks. And then 1 minute before the market opened, my mentee just sends a message and he's like, what do you think about PLTR? I opened PLTR and I see that we had this level on the daily chart. Let's go to the daily chart. There it is. So we had this level around here on the daily chart that was held for 3 months approximately. So that looked promising. And we did break this level yesterday, 23rd of April. Next thing, I'm checking the 60-minute chart. And that's my usual thought process, going from the weekly to the daily to the 60 to the 5. On the 60-minute chart, if we zoom this thing in, you could see that there was a mini range here. We did break to the downside and we formed a mini range down here. Normally, after the break of the range, we would expect the stock to break down and sell off. Instead, this thing after the break, it held. It recovered. You see the previous close, which is the level. It made a pullback and it continued. So this actually looked really promising. We came back inside the range after the break of the range, which means that this down here was actually a fake breakdown and that the price could continue going higher. Now I like that. And one thing that you need to pay attention to is, or that you need to understand is, how long could I hold on to my trade if I'm in it? For that, I usually use the average true range indicator. The average true range just shows us the average size of the move intraday, of the move based on the time frame that you're watching. Taking a look at the daily chart, you could see that the average true range on PLTR is $6. That means that intraday it could move up to $6. But the thing here is that the previous daily candle was bearish. It closed as a reverse hammer. When I see some bearish signals on the daily chart, or some other signals against me, I usually don't go for a full daily ATR. I go to the next time frame. Maybe the 60-minute chart looks good. And looking at the 60-minute chart, you could see that we did, like I told you, break to the downside. We did recover. The 60-minute chart looks good. Previous candle closed bullish. So I knew that at least one 60-minute candle is going to be long. And if it is going to be long, how far can it run? It can go for approximately $1.50 or maybe $1.80. So I know that I want to play PLTR to the long side and I want to hold it for around $1.80. Now I'm going to the 5-minute chart. What do we have in the 5-minute chart? This is what I call the breakout pattern or the breakout setup. Let's just remove the average true range. So this is what I call the breakout setup or the breakout pattern. I love it so much when during the pre-market, before the market open, we have around 1, 2, 3, 4 candles sitting next to each other. The more the merrier. But at least during the pre-market, I want to see 3 to 4 candles sitting next to each other. And now I have that. That's basically my range that I want to play the breakout from. Finally, I go to the 1-minute chart because the 1-minute chart is the time frame that I look for entries based on. And I have 2 ways to play this thing. Either it opens within the range, it breaks the range, and I add to my position. Or even better, a fake breakdown. Wait for the stock to break the opposite side of the range. Recover. This way I can play it closer to the low, having my stop loss at the low. Added the breakout, move my stop loss to the middle. And partial all the way up, like I told you, $1.80 approximately from 101.40 to 103.20. That's my final target. Sometimes I go for a little bit more or a little bit less based on the levels that we have. And we've had yesterday's high level around here, which was my final target. But since I saw it struggling a little bit closer to my level, I decided to bail on the trade. Obviously, this thing made double of my move, but there is literally no regrets because the plan was to play one 60-minute candle. And that's exactly what I did. I played one 60-minute candle. Dev said, I found PLTR2 extended over its range to trade OP in range breakout. No, it wasn't actually so extended over its range. And obviously, it did gap up. It did make a move during the pre-market, which was a little bit annoying. But you could play an opening range breakout predicting small time frame. And by the way, guys, talking about opening range breakouts, today, 5 p.m. Eastern in the trading terminal website, the webinar room, I'll be holding a free webinar on how to trade breakouts, actually the right way. Not simply because the 1-minute candle closed bullish and you playing 1-minute open range breakout, and not because the 5-minute candle closed bullish, so you end up playing a 5-minute open range breakout. I'll show you a bit of an advanced way to have an edge over the market playing breakouts. Free webinar, 1 hour, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from it. That's one of the strategies that a lot of my mentees are having success with. Def, good thing. So ideally, when we play breakouts, we don't want it to make a move more than 30% of the ATR. But remember, it depends on the time frame that you're predicting. If you play a breakout using the daily chart, predicting one daily candle, going for the daily ATR, you don't want the price to make more than 30% or 40% of the ATR move during the pre-market. However, if you want to play a smaller time frame, like predicting one 60-minute candle or predicting one 5-minute candle, then you can literally play during any time of the day. My style of trading is candle by candle analysis and trying to guess where the next candle is headed. Is the next candle going long, short, or skip? And we play that one particular candle. That's why I use this one around here. When we take a look at the 60-minute chart, really beautiful pattern around here, bullish candle around the high. And what we were playing is this. That's what we were playing. One 60-minute candle. We don't care about this. We don't care about this. And we do not care about this. We only care about this. And that's actually answers a question that some other men ask me. Why didn't you play to the short side when it made a breakdown? So you have the range on the 5-minute chart. There is that range, and it's breaking to the downside. Why are you not playing it to the short side? Because the overall bias is to the long side. When I took a look at multiple time frames, we did discuss it, and I told you that most bias is to play to the long side based on multiple time frames. So my plan is to play to the long side when one of the two things happen, either a break, either a fake break and a recovery. And I love a fake break and a recovery. Could you guys tell me why? Why is a fake break and recovery better than just a break? Just trying to get some engagement around here while drinking my cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be the answer that I'm looking for, just your thought process. Cheaper entry, I love that, definitely. That's actually one of the top reasons why you want to see a fake break and recovery. Better entry, yeah, more reasons, more reasons. Christian, trap, exactly. Shorts panic, exactly, more. Come on, guys. You see how many things this small thing actually shows you and gives you? It gives you first a better entry because you get as close as possible to the support. It's a trap. People who played it to the short side thinking that we broke a range to the downside without looking at multiple time frame analysis are going to get stopped out. They'll be panicking and they'll be getting squeezed. Prove that there are buyers. Exactly. I mean, imagine this. The price goes to the downside, but rather than selling off, the price gets held. So we break a level, we're breaking it. Long should get stopped out, but rather than getting stopped out, they believe that this is actually a better price to jump in. And that's why if it recovers from here, it could actually squeeze. You know, one of the things that I love about these fake breakouts is that after the price breaks, it usually never looks back. If you get a fake break and a recovery, after that, it usually is a quick squeeze to the long side. I'm going to show you a few of my trades that I have taken in the past where we had a fake break, and I'll show you how the price behaves after fake breaks. It's actually amazing. And again, a lot of my mentees, they end up taking trades only after fake breaks after this. So let's just size it in here so that you can see it good. So let's try and look for some fake breaks, fake break trades that I have executed. Apple around here. There is the level that I found. Obvious level around here. We do fake break during the pre-market, and then you see how big the move is. It usually never looks back. It just pops up and goes straight up. Let's take a look at another example around here. Tesla. So Tesla, I played this one with options. But I use the thought process on the chart of Tesla stock. So you see the level around here. What happens around here? The price breaks to the downside. After the break of the downside, what happens? It just goes straight up. It never looks back. It never even retests this level because it doesn't want to give those people who shorted a chance to exit at break even. They're getting squeezed, and the more they get squeezed, the bigger the move that could happen. Take a look at this. You see, obvious level, fake break, and recovery. Let's take a look at one more example. Just one more example because I have a lot of these. This is basically my favorite setup to play. Look at these guys. PLTR. Another PLTR, by the way. Today I played PLTR, and this was also PLTR on 7th of April. So you see the level. That was the low of the channel that I found on the 60-minute chart, or maybe on the daily. I forgot where exactly. What happens down here? We break to the downside. After the break, we recover. And after that, straight up. In this case, obviously, I was unlucky because it wicked me out to the penny, and after that, it just made a huge run to the upside. But you see how powerful this small indicator is, and how high your win rate could be if you just simply implement this style of trading. If you saw Andrew's trade, I forgot when it was, yesterday or before yesterday. Anyone remembers when Andrew traded Tesla and got that nice squeeze? Let me actually take a look at the chart. Let me see. I think it was during this week. I'll just take a look at the last few days, because it also was followed, actually made after a fake breakdown. Let's take a look at it. I really don't remember what day it was. And I'm not really sure even if it was Tesla or it was something else. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think you get the process and you get the idea, right? You identify a clear and beautiful range. You wait for the price to go to the opposite direction. Squeeze, play it with a tight stop. Then add after it breaks. And move stop loss to the middle. So when you get your entry within the range, you use a stop loss at the low of the range. And when you add at the break, you could use stop loss in the middle of the range. And with these few scale-ins, I could have this stop with this entry. That's my average. And that risk to reward. I did squeeze overall a 4-1 on this trade. Someone asked me, what is 5 p.m. Eastern for you? Is it like 2 or 3 in the morning? It's midnight. So you see how romantic I am, guys? I'm spending my midnight with you instead of spending it with my girlfriend. That's how much I love you guys. So now let's go actually to my other stocks that I was watching today. Today I was also watching CVX and I was watching IWM, and I wanted to explain to you why I had these two on my watch list. First of all, CVX. CVX, I mainly had it on my watch list because of this weekly chart and a similar thought process to the one that I had on PLTR, but on a higher time frame. There is a nice level around here, and we're breaking this level. Look at this, a huge drop from top to bottom, 20% drop, maybe even more actually, maybe even 30% drop on the stop. And after the break to the downside, what happens? We have this buying pressure, which this is a sign of strength that CVX could actually make it to 145 or 150. And I'll be honest with you, if there were no news, no tariffs news, these sudden announcements where the market just instantly one day it gaps up, one day it gaps down, I would have swing traded CVX all the way to 145 or all the way to 150, because that's one of my beautiful swing trade strategies. Ayman, could you recommend your favorite books in technical analysis? Mariana, I don't have a favorite book on technical analysis, but I'm writing a book right now, and it will probably be one of the best books multiple time frame analysis, because it's a book that will include years and years of experience. And some of you already know, but I've worked with over 200 members on one-to-one mentorship. I know the areas that people struggle with. I know the common mistakes, so all that knowledge will be there, and I think you are going to enjoy it. That's just a small teaser so that you can wait for it. Anyway, so like I was saying, we have this fake breakdown, nice bottom wicks, and that tells me that the price could go to the upside. After that, I go to the daily chart. What do we have in the daily chart? On the daily chart, we have a nice kind of clear level of support, closing as a doji closer to the low. So this doji means two things. It means that the price could go to the downside or it could go to the upside. And obviously, I am more long biased than short biased because of the weekly chart, but I need a confirmation on the 60-minute chart. What do we have on the 60-minute chart? If you take a look at the 60-minute chart, it was a bit choppy, right? Making higher highs and higher lows, lower lows. And then by the end, it's making kind of a higher low. And I love the 8 a.m. candle. The 8 a.m. candle tells me a lot. 8 to 9, basically. It's closing as a hammer. And I see that there is a lot from all the way till here or all the way up there. So CVX, a good one to watch today to the long side. Finally, I go to the 1-minute chart and the 5-minute chart to plan the trade. What I don't like about CVX is this. If you take a look at the 5-minute chart on CVX, you can see that we made a straight move to the upside. And that's not the breakout pattern that I want to see. What's the breakout pattern? We talked about it in PLTR. What do we want to see when we want to play breakouts? On the 5-minute chart? Just a question so that I can take another sip of coffee. What do you want to see on the 5-minute chart? Come on, guys. Trying to make you better traders here. Don't fall asleep, just some engagement. Exactly, Christian. A range or a fake break. We want to see at least 4 or 5-minute candles going sideways. That's what we want to see. And then a fake break with a recovery or a break of the range. What do we have here on the 5-minute chart? We have a straight move to the upside. What does this tell us? A huge move is already made. Exactly, consolidation, Jays. So a huge move is already made. So what do we want to see before we play to the long side? We want to see a pullback. So this thing was ready a little bit later during the day. And remember what Andrew said? He mentioned this a few minutes ago. I think he answered a question one of the members here asked. The question was, should I be available at the open? And he was right about one thing. Most of the volatility and the biggest spikes are happening during the open, but you really don't need to be a trader who trades at the open. There are trading opportunities during the whole day. I could show you trades where I've executed perfect and obvious trades during the afternoon, 2 p.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m. I mean, you can find opportunities during the whole day. But most of the activity is happening during the open. Biggest spikes happen at the open. So if you're a trader who trades the first 30 minutes, you could find 2 or 3 opportunities during these first 30 minutes. If you're a type of trader who trades maybe around 12 p.m., 1 p.m., after 11 a.m., then you will need to wait longer for setups to happen because it's higher time frames that you'll need to be paying attention to, the 5-minute chart and the 15-minute chart. So if you're the type of trader who is patient, who can sit in front of their screen, watch the screen for a few hours before executing the trade, then perfect. I mean, I don't think you're going to have any issues trading later during the day. Peter is a type of trader who says that I want to see the price action. I want to have my time before I make a decision, calculate the shares, using the montage, not even hotkeys, jumping slowly. Even his setup is a reversal, but he calls it a mountain pass. That's where you get a double top on the 5-minute chart after an extended move. For me, I play something a bit faster. It's also a reversal, but I look for V reversals with a similar pattern to a pattern that Peter looks for on the 5-minute chart. But I look for it on the 1-minute chart. Peter does something similar, but on the 5-minute chart, which is slower price action. Every single setup that we teach at Bearable Traders works on the 1-minute chart, works on the 5-minute chart, on the 15, on the 30, on the 60, on the daily. So you could either swing trade, you could scalp, you could trade, depending on your personality and what you feel comfortable with. Andrew is the type of trader who is quick with his decision making. He's really good at scalping and he's good at analyzing the 1-minute chart. And he does well at the first 15-30 minutes. Some of you might actually struggle the first 15 or 30 minutes. So take a few months and practice trading during different times during the day, just to figure out your personality and what suits you more. Second thing that I wanted to talk about is that you don't always have setups at the open. Even if you're the type of trader who trades the first 5 or 10 minutes, you're not going to be able to trade the first 5 or 10 minutes every time, because in this particular case, for example, it needed a pullback. So if you were watching it for a long, you would have probably been chopped out at the open until later where it found a setup. So you need to build a plan before the trade actually happens. And I wanted to share with you the plan that I have made today when I was trading the open. So there is this, and let's actually share with you the trade at the open, just to show you how this actually works. So what was my watch list today? No A+ setups, obviously, because for me, an A+ setup is actually a setup that happens with a clear daily pattern. We don't have clear daily patterns because the market's been random. One day it's gapping up, one day it's gapping down. But I have two things. I'm either watching CVX somewhere around maybe the previous day close, if it pulls back down, because like I told you, I needed it to pull back, or watching IWM if it holds view up, playing 160-minute candle. Now, these are the two stocks that I was watching. CVX, if it pulls back to view up, unfortunately did not, to previous day close. Unfortunately, did not pull back to the previous day close. It just made a small pullback and it made the move. Probably I would have missed this trade. Second one that I was watching was IWM. And I said that IWM could be played if it goes to view up and confirm that view up is being held. What happened? It actually followed the plan. And it was similar to CVX, where it was running during the pre-market, which is a downside. We don't love this type of price action. And if we see that, we want to see it dropping first. The drop around here doesn't mean that the market is weak. It means that it's actually doing what it needs to do. After a big move, it needs to pull back. And after the pullback is being held, we could end up playing it to the long side. And actually, quite a few people managed to catch IWM. You see, that's the thought process. That's exactly what we say. Play it to the long side. Unfortunately, a bit early entry, but it's okay. Re-entry and 4.5 are winner. And a lot more traders actually caught this one on IWM. Someone else mentioned PLTR. I ended up playing PLTR rather than playing IWM. Most of the times during the open, I take 1 or 2 positions, and I'd say that maybe 90% of the time I take only 1 position and I focus on it. Could you guys tell me why we need to focus on 1 single position rather than multiple positions? By the way, I'm curious here, how many positions do you guys take at the open? Can you write it down on average every day? How many trades are you in during the same time? Things that differentiates good traders from average traders is adding into a winning position. A lot of traders are okay adding into the trade if it goes against them, and that's what we call averaging down. And then once the price goes in their favor just a little bit, they exit for a small profit. But it's so rare to find someone who actually adds every single time while the price is going in their favor, because they're afraid that they'll have a bad average and then they'll get wicked out to the penny before the price continues going in their favor. And that will be happening, actually. That will be happening sometimes. But most of the times, or I'd say, but in the long run, you will actually be making a lot of money because adding to your position could easily double, triple, or sometimes even quadruple your gains. And 1 single winning position with ads is similar to 4 separate winning trades. So focus on adding into winning positions. And by focusing on 1 single trade at the open, you could get used to the price action and what the stock is actually doing while you are in it. And in the future, you could find some obvious key moments where you could add to your position. So good job. And definitely stick to trading 1 position at a time. So let's see what's happening in the market right now. SPY and the Qs slowly going to the upside. It's really interesting how, look at these guys, how we just sold off that much from 611 all the way to 480. That's around $120 drop, right? And we recovered around half of that drop in a matter of 2 weeks. Anyone here thinks that we're getting back to all-time highs within the next 2 months? Out of curiosity. Again, this is not based on technical statistics, just your thought process or your opinion. Do you think we're getting back to all-time highs in 2 months? I personally think that's possible. This area, I think that's possible. I mean, pattern-wise, I like the higher low around here. Candles have been volatile, so all it takes is just 1 good tweet, and and one weekly candle is going to get us closer to all-time high. But you're right. It's too risky to assume. To me, recession fears. Obviously, don't take interest based on what I'm saying around here. It's just a simple opinion based on what's happening right now. If I knew where it's headed, I would have taken it. But I feel comfortable day trading during this market. Anyone here is a swing trader? Swing traders? Type something in the chat. Not in these markets. Smart, same here actually. I'm curious if anyone is swing trading something right now. I personally rarely take swing trades, but I love taking them when there are obvious opportunities. But you are right, not during this market. During this market, it's obviously the worst for swing trading. Some people are afraid actually to day trade during this market. They see this huge drop, a lot of bad news, a lot of red, but you really don't need to worry about it. As a day trader, you can long stock, you can short the stock, you can scalp it, and you're actually not going to get destroyed if you're day trading. If you're swing trading, the next day some sudden news could happen and the stock is down 5 or 10% because of a gap. But intraday, you close your position by the end of the day. You just play the price action intraday, and if you play high caps, then the stock is not even going to be halted. So you're literally on the safe side. But I'm not saying that day trading is easier than swing trading. In my personal opinion, swing trading is easier than day trading. And you can make maybe even more money swing trading than day trading, but day trading is consistent because you can do it every day. Swing trading, you can trade every day. And swing trading, you can do it on every during any single market phase. Swing trading requires specific market phases. It requires a lot of patience, waiting for days or weeks for a setup to happen. And then just you hold it for a few days or same things, a few weeks. But during volatile markets like right now, there are obviously no opportunities for swing trading, and it's really risky to do it. When did this all happen? This all started happening April 1st, right? Maybe even before that. So over a month, guys, or almost a whole month of random price action. You can see that on the daily. Drop, squeeze, drop, squeeze, drop, squeeze. That's why. Where is the low of it? Where is the high of it? The most recent range, obviously. There are so many ranges, but we want to see the most recent range. Can you explain why you chose CVX to trade today? I have my list of stocks that I trade. There it is around here. It consists of, I think, 150 different stocks. These are stocks that I am familiar with. I know how much they move. I know that if they open, we're going to get some volume and that they're liquid enough for me to get filled into. I know how much they move on average. I know how much I want to risk and how much I want to make. And like I told you, my style of trading is candle by candle analysis. So what do? I go through the weekly chart, daily chart, 60-minute chart, and I build my plan going from the higher time frame to the smaller time frame. And what I do is I go through this list every day and I pick the best opportunities for today. The ones that are obvious. I just take a look at the chart and I'm like, today is a long on this stock, or today is a short on this stock. And that's the stock that I'm watching. I do something similar for the weekly. So I have a weekly chart around here. First thing, every Sunday night, I go through 150 stocks and I pick the best few opportunities for the whole week. So for me, this week, I am watching FRM, AG, ASTS, BA, BST, CVX, Disney, FSLY, IWM, MARA, UNF, LMT, UNH, JRND, and ETSI. This is my watch list for the week. Every single day, I go through this list one by one, and I try to narrow it down to 1 or 2 stocks. Today, when I went through this whole list, I liked CVX and I liked IWM. one of my mentees called PLTR, which I did not have on my list. I missed it for some reason, and it happens, right? We're humans. And again, that's the power of being in a community. You could skip something, but another member is going to tell you about it. And that's why I ended up trading PLTR. I would have traded IWM if I did not get into PLTR because IWM set up. And yesterday, I actually ended up calling UNH. Why did I call UNH yesterday? Those who are in the chat room probably saw me calling UNH yesterday. And now let's take a look at UNH and see what exactly happened. Similar to CVX, we're dropping down into an obvious level of support. Then we go to the daily chart, and on the daily chart, you could see that there is a huge drop. That's what we call a parabolic reversal, where we have so many candles selling off in a row with a hammer at the low. That tells me that at least one day we're going to go to the long side. And that's why yesterday I put UNH on my list to the long side. And it actually was a good one yesterday, right? Nice pop up to the long side. So UNH ended up being a good one yesterday, but not a good one today. Why is it not a good one today? We made a reverse hammer. I don't want to play it to the short side. Why is this a bad candle to play to the short side or a bad pattern? Anyone? And then I'll get back to the SPY and talk about the actual range on it. Why don't we like this for a short? Too big of a gap. That's one. And what about the pullback? What don't we like about this pullback? Exhausted to the downside. True. Definitely, I like that as well. It's hitting a level, and the pullback is really small. So many reasons why we should not play this stock. This is what I call a fake ABCD pattern. You get the stock to drop. People think that they are patient traders and they read a lot of books, they watched a lot of videos. These books and videos are telling them they need to wait for a pullback. The pullback happens. We get a reverse hammer. Now they're smart enough to play to the short side because they've been patient enough waiting for one day and play the continuation to the downside. But this pullback is what I call a fake reverse ABCD pattern or a fake pullback. A decent pullback, and you can watch my ABCD pattern webinar. A decent pullback is a pullback where you get a move at least 30 to 40% of the move. If we had a pullback as big as this, that would have been a good one for a continuation. But this around here, it's trap. And even if it breaks to the downside, there is a huge likelihood that it's going to go back to the upside. Yesterday, when I was in the chat room, one of the members told me, hey man, I want to watch Apple to the short side. And they called it here. Let me show you. Where was it? Where was that? Yesterday? There it is here. So they're like, hey man, Apple here, it looks really short. Should I play it to the downside? And I told him no. And he's like, why not? We are having a descending triangle or a wedge or reverse ABCD pattern, bear flag, however you want to call it. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. But they're like, hey man, this is a bearish setup. Why should I? Can I play it to the short side? And I told them no. This is already overstretched to the downside. What's the average true range on Apple? The average true range on Apple is somewhere around $5 to $6. And how much did we sell off? From 208 to 203.58. So yes, there is a chance that it's going to go to the downside, but we are having around 50 cents, maybe $1 to the downside. If you end up playing it to the short side here, your stop loss would need to be up there. That's $1 stop loss. So to get a good risk to reward ratio, you need a 2 to 1. Apple, based on the average true range and based on what it did today, is less likely to make a $2 move to the downside. And then this happens. And they're like, hey man, I told you this thing is going to go to the downside. And I'm like, so what? I mean, it still didn't hit the target. It did break to the downside. And I told you that, yes, there is a chance that it's going to go to the downside, but it's not going to give you a good risk to reward ratio. Why? Because it's going to probably trap you. And that's what happens. It actually did form a trap for people to short. And the moment it breaks, just one candle, the moment it breaks, what happens? It stops and it squeezes and it goes to the opposite direction. And I actually told them that if you want to watch it for a long play, then that's a good one. But to the short side, you don't want to play it. So you need to understand when it is a good stock or a good time to play a stock for a short, when it's a good time to play it for a long. Also by analyzing multiple time frames and understanding the average true range, understanding how much the stocks run on average. That will help you develop the initial plan rather than just blindly staring at the plan like this and being like, okay, this looks short, so I'm gonna short it. Oh no, shoot, this is long, I'm gonna long it. You don't have a plan around here. You want to make sure that there is always a plan and that there is a reason behind why you are taking a trade. A good trader always asks themselves two questions before they take trade. Why is this a good long? And then why is it a good short? And try to weigh both of these. Try to find reasons for why it's a good long and reasons for why it's a good short, and go with the dominant. If you see that there are so many reasons to long it and there are at the same time so many reasons to short it, then there are so many other traders who are as confused as you are, because some people see it as short, some people see it as so long. There is no dominant reason or trend to play it to any of these directions. When you have a lot of reasons to play it long and almost no reasons to play it to the short side, then maybe that's a good one to play it to the long side, and vice versa. If there are so many reasons to play to the short side, but none, or maybe just a few to the long side, then maybe you want to bet on the short. But don't just think about it into your bias, because sometimes you have that bias inside us. Today the market is strong, today we gapped up, it looks like there is a pattern to the long side, let me play it to the long side. Because now you are finding excuses as of why you can play it to the long side. You're not being rational about it, and you're not thinking about why it's... or why it's not a good setup to play to the long side. Try to be rational, try to trade calm. Don't let your emotions block your judgment. And think from both sides, from a long trader perspective or a bull trader perspective, and from a bearish trader perspective, and go with the one that makes more sense. There was a question: how do you decide these stocks? News, flow, earnings, or just volume is highest? This is a list of stock that I've been building during the years. Initially, this list of stock was really small. It was Apple, Amazon, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla. I mean, the stocks that everyone in the world knows. It's some familiar names of big companies. That was my list of stocks that I used to trade from. And slowly, I started adding to this list. Sometimes you get a sector that's hot and that's in play: oil sector, bot sector, airline sector. I find stocks that are usually getting in play, and I add more and more and more to the list. Some of the stocks were added by some of my mentees, and I'm just going through them and I pick them. Now, the main reason why I would be adding to this list of stock is a clean daily chart. Sometimes you take a look at the daily chart and you see that it's a clean daily chart. And this is not a chip chart. This is a clean daily chart where it's not gappy. When it goes to the upside, it goes to the upside. When it goes to the downside, it goes to the downside. Basically, it's clean. It moves. It does not gap. It just does something, right? This is the type of daily chart that I love. It's so many million shares traded intraday. That means that this stock is liquid, and I'll be able to get filled with the share size that I want to trade or that I want to take. Second thing, the average true range. It's important to have a decent average true range over 50 cents. Carlos, he said that he's in INTC and he took only 500 shares, but I'm playing in INTC a lot. I have it on my list, and I know the average true range in this thing. I mean, in fact, you don't really even need to know the average true range, because you could just add it using the study config or use any other website, and you see that the average true range on INTC is $1. What is the lowest point? What's the previous day close on INTC? The previous day close on INTC is 2060. How high could it go today? 2160. That's the highest point it could go for today. How far did we go for today? Yeah, 2140. Close enough, actually. Yeah, close enough. I don't use 100% of the ATR. A lot of times I use around 80, 90, or 70% of the average true range. So you know that if you are going to play INTC today, maximum, it's going to go to 2160. And with 500 shares from 2110 all the way to 2160, you will be making somewhere around $250, right? Obviously, if you play a stock like Tesla, you don't want to go for with 500 shares because Tesla moves a lot. Tesla has an average true range of $20, and with 500 shares, could be up to $10,000 in profit or in loss, right? So you want to build your share size depending on average true range on the stock and based on how much this stock runs. Obviously, also based on how much it costs. Now, if you take a look, for example, at, let's just remove this thing around here. If you pick, for example, BP, this is a bad daily chart. And you probably hear Carlos and Peter sometimes looking at the daily chart and they're saying that, oh, this is a good daily chart. And sometimes they're like, oh, no, this one has a crappy daily chart. Now, BP, in my opinion, is the type of stock that has a crappy daily chart. Why is that? You can see one day it gaps down and it looks like it's downtrending. Then there is a big move up. Then there is a gap down and a big move down. Then it does nothing. Then, I mean, it's just horrible, right? One day it gaps down, one day it gaps up, a lot of sideways price action. Almost every day it gaps up. So this is the type of daily chart that we don't love trading. And sometimes you take a look at another stock, AMD, for example, this one is like nicely trending, beautiful charts, rarely gaps, opens around the previous day close, decent ATR. This is a good daily chart. That's how you can tell that, okay, this is a good stock to trade intraday or it's a bad stock. Because if something is so ugly and choppy on the daily chart, it's going to be so ugly and choppy intraday. If it's clean and trending and beautiful on the daily chart, it's going to be similar on a smaller time frame. Oh, hey, Carlos, you're still here. Good luck with that INTC. And hopefully it's going to do something for you. So basically, these are the type of stocks that I add on my list. And over time, I add, you said that you like to trade crappy stocks in range when you do your, not crappy. I like to trade clean stocks when they are in a range. A stock like AMD, which is a beautiful stock, when it is sitting in a range like this is a good stock because it doesn't gap a lot and it respects trends, it respects levels. And now around here, I see, for example, a good range on AMD, and this is a one that I'll be trading range trades. But not a stock like BP, because a stock like BP is not going to be sitting in a range. Sometimes it's going to gap above a range, gap below a range, gap into the middle of the range. It just does not respect the levels well. So I don't want to play range trades, for example, on a stock like BP, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Someone saying, hey man, I trade SPY from 539.44 weekly level yesterday to short side, and today same level to the long side, still in it. Let's get back to the SPY and tell you about the range that I was talking about. So the SPY, I did mention this rule in my course, multiple time frame analysis. Complete guide to multiple time frame analysis and reading price action. Normally, when we're trending below the 9 moving average and then we reach the 20 for the first time, this is usually the high of the future range. So I knew that the SPY is going to form a range below $550 even before all these. The moment this happened on this day, I knew that we are starting a range. That's according to the rules that I have. Now we have an actual high of the range, but the question, the issue is that we don't have the low of the range yet. For me to have the low of the range, I want to see the price making a lower high on the daily, which it did, and then bounce, which it did here. And I did mention that we're going to bounce here on this particular day. Why specifically on this particular day? If I draw a level around here that it held, and I actually called this level in the chat room also on the 10th of April. If we go back on the daily chart and we zoom it out, you will see that we're having, where is that? Let me just fix this, this, and then this, beautiful. So you will see that we're having on the daily chart here, this candle with an increasing volume. It's just so obvious. We're dropping all the way down here with such a huge volume, and we're bouncing and making a huge trend. That's a level that even a blind person can see. So I knew that this could be the area, but I needed a confirmation that this is going to be an area. And in the chat room, I called this one for a reversal on 10th of April. Quite a few people actually caught it on 10th of April. I'll show you how this one looked like on 10th of April and how it actually respected this one area to the penny. So let's go back to 10th of April. There it is, you see. This is what we called it. And now we're having around the area a huge volume. It was not actually a smaller move. So second time we respected it here and somewhere around here. And the moment it made a new daily high, we have now the high of the range, which is 550. And we have the low of the range, which is 510. So now I know that the market is going to be chopping around here. And I'll be careful about taking any trade during this market as long as we're sitting between this and this. Obviously, closer to the high, I'd be interested in playing it to the short side. The high could be here or here. Remember, levels are zones. They're not exactly to the penny. It could go a little bit above it, a little bit below it, or exactly at it. And I want to play to the long side, closer to the low. I want to be really careful about playing it within the middle. And when we finally break up or down, I'll be interested in playing trends for longer runs. So below this area, I'll be interested in playing short. Above this area, I'll be interested in playing long. And unless any news would be happening or coming, I think above 515, we could go all the way to 580. Not in one day, obviously, because the average true range on the SPY on the daily chart is around $10 to $15, maybe in a day or 2 days, or maybe even 3 days. But I'm just waiting for it to clear. And honestly, it would be really good if I see that it's actually going to the upside, because then we're going to have a decent, an obvious direction without any resistance areas. The issue is also still an INTC. Good luck for you too, man. Adi is saying went long on PLTR at 104.90 about an hour ago, waiting for it to hit a high of the day. Do you think it's going to hit, or is the volume too low? Going back to PLTR, hitting the high of the day. First of all, we check the average true range in PLTR. And PLTR has an average true range of $6 to $7. So yes, it could go to the high of the day and it could break it. But like I told you, I don't like the daily chart on PLTR a lot, because on the daily chart, we had a bigger upper week. We did break, but rather than trending, we had an upper week, which is a bit bearish. So today when I played PLTR, I played it predicting 160-minute candle. It's just a momentum to the upside. If the daily looked good, I probably would have ended up holding it for longer. Now, what do we see next? If you take a look at the 30-minute chart on PLTR, 30-minute chart looks good. We're having some sort of an ABCD pattern, which looks good for a continuation. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart also looks good enough, actually, and it looks like it wants to break the high of the day and make a new high. 60-minute chart, not the best, not the worst. 3-bar play to the long side. I mean, just looking at these time frames, 5, 15, 30, and 60, I would say that it could make it to the high of the day and it could break. Only thing I don't like about PLTR is the previous daily candle. Other than that, this thing looks like it wants to actually make it to the high of the day and break. By the way, guys, if you are interested or you want to see, want me to share the list of stocks that I'm watching every day, just feel free to email me. My email is ayman@bearbulltraders.com. Ayman, like my name, ayman@bearbulltraders.com. And I'll be more than happy to share it with you. Also, I want to remind you about the webinar 5 p.m. Eastern in Trading Terminal. It's free for you all. Thank you guys. I enjoyed being here with you. Hope you learned something. Trade smart. And I'll talk to you some other time when I need to cover pass. See you guys.